Oh, we're getting word here. One more award. I'm sorry about that. This award it's actually like kind of a medical award. It's most likely to have a heart attack or a myocardial infarction after smoking too much weed. Now this award, you have to have certain criteria. You have to be morbidly obese, you have to be sedentary, you have to be just sitting there constantly, daily, day in, day out. It's a special award. And basically you have to smoke so much weed that you will likely die from a myocardial infarction or a heart attack. And that's Brian McClay from Beyond Wednesdays. Congratulations, Brian. You don't have much longer in this mortal coil. I congratulate you on your sedentary lifestyle.
The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
The top talents in the comic book business are here to tell everything they know.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Tuesday night here on Beyond Wednesdays. We have no internet. We're coming back. And I think we might be back.
We haven't lost you.
All right. I don't know what's going on, you guys. We're having some issues with the show, so I'm going to start recording. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Industry of Comics show. This is episode 121 of the Industry of Comics show, and we're having some internet issues. So we're going to record a backup just in case. So we can put it back up. But we got a special show tonight. We got an extra special guest. One of the guests who's been on the show the most. I think Dan's been here three or four times. Maybe this is his fourth time. But yeah, we'll be talking to Dan Mendoza shortly, which is awesome. And then yeah, like I said, San Diego's getting ready to show up. So lots of news about San Diego and such. Lots of other craziness. So it's so hot here that the internet is just dying. Chuck says, I think it's valley-wide internet issues. It's 115 degrees out right now in the Northwest Valley, and it sucks. I was telling the guys it was so hot that I went to go get ice out of my ice maker, and they were all stuck together because they had melted in the freezer. So yeah, no fun. Yeah. So
because you live in hell.
I know, right, dude? Fucking sun is the devil, dude. It is the devil, especially out here. But how are you guys doing? How's it going out in your neck of the woods?
Good, man. We had cold streak here.
Oh,
70 degrees.
It's been so hot. We're in Indiana. It's been hot here, but it's been so humid though. That's the worst. Is you guys know the humidity? It's been insane. Just it's finally a little better. It's finally back in like the high 80s, but man, it was bad for. And then so I have an in-ground pool. First world problems, right? There's a swarm of gnats and flying ants came through and just like the pool just I couldn't keep up. I'm trying to scoop them out and they're all over me. One went up my nose. It was like it was terrible. I had to do a nasal rinse to get it out. It was horrible. It's just so bad. Anyway. Well,
I think we have a message for you. I think you got to celebrate this week, right? Because it is your birthday, right? It was your birthday?
Oh yeah, it was on Sunday. Yeah,
it was on Sundays, right? Sunday.
It was,
and
older now.
We didn't get to celebrate, so ladies and gentlemen,
catching me.
Oh God!
For anybody in the audience who's got a birthday today, happy birthday to you!
All right, that's enough. Happy birthday, bro.
That's
how
enough.
We do things around here. Yeah. So was it a good birthday?
Thank you.
Good birthday. It was a good one. Another revolution around the sun.
It was good. I took 3 days off. That never happens. You have to spend the day with wife and the stepkid. It was awesome. It was a great day.
Hell yeah. That's cool, man. That's the way it should be. That is the way it should be.
It's a great day.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we need to bring in our guest, the one, the only, Dan Mendoza. How's it going, Dan?
Woohoo!
What's up, guys?
Look at that hat. That hat is a killer piece of promotion if I've ever seen one, bro. Still Ill from the Still Ill crew.
I used to be so shamelessly promoting, like everywhere I went. Like I had on Still Ill hoodies, shirts, hats. I got, stickers and cards in my wallet constantly. And now I'm just more like when I'm out in the world, I'm just all incognito. I just wear all black. I don't wear any logos or nothing. I'm just like,
So I've never seen the top of that hat. Dan's so tall, I only see the underneath of the brim.
Oh,
So I'm
yeah,
always looking up
yeah.
at him.
Yeah. There's some good images on, if you like search Dan Mendoza on Google, you'll just see him looking down and you'll see the Still Ill hat. So it works pretty well for promotion, man.
Yeah, that was I think that was my biopic. Like when you do shows, like, and they want a biopic, it's just a picture of me at a show with my head down just working, so you just see the Still Ill. That's it. You know?
It's perfect, dude. It's perfect. So we didn't get a chance to talk about IllCon. How did that go?
IllCon?
Yeah.
IllCon was awesome, man. It was like a year and a month ago or something like that. We did it like in May of last year and stuff. We're just like kind of just messing with the notion, like, what if we made a show, dude? Like, because it was kind of also at the time, it was awesome. It was at the time we couldn't get accepted into our local show out here, which is Motor City Comic Con, and we still can't to this day. So it was in a way, it was built for me. It was built for spite. Yeah, it just turned into this thing where Nightmare was just like, look at this venue. It's for weddings, but it used to be like a high school or elementary school, so it had lockers and everything, and I was like, this is kind of cool looking. So I kind of looked around and I was like, man, we could totally build a show here, because it had a room with a stage, like auditorium for panels. It had all kinds of different rooms, like, they had the room that used to be the library, had all these different things. So we're in the cafeteria would be like where all the artists were and stuff. So yeah, we built that thing, and we had like 250 people come for just a one-day show.
That's killer.
And it was awesome, man. We had food trucks, and we had guests that Motor City couldn't get. So I basically just asked my friends to show up. So I was like, hey, Brian Polito, you want to come to my show? And he's like, yeah. And then it's like Josh Howard, Tim Seeley. I just started, any other people that did like cover art for us all the time and stuff like that. Yeah, those are what you're showing us is old stuff. This is like 2020. Like, this is around the pandemic. We did a at home kind of show, like when the pandemic was going down, and this was like in our old living room. Yeah,
even better.
So that's like old stuff. But yeah,
so
IllCon was awesome.
Is there any future plans to do it again, like this upcoming year? Or?
Yeah, we talk about it. I could see us doing it down the road. But I kind of want to. I'm kind of messing around with different ideas to do it differently than other people do it. Or like, why does it, why does it have to be like in the same location all the time? Why does it have to be this? Or, just kind of looking at it in a different way. But yeah, we just recently moved closer to Detroit, so we would have to find a new venue and all that stuff. But yeah, I could see it in the future, but just right now we don't know yet. So
we got to figure out a way to get those badass cutouts behind you to.
Those are what's funny about these cutouts. I had one of every one of our characters, and we had them out all up and down the hallways at IllCon, so people could take pictures with these characters. And then we had one part of like after we were done doing panels and stuff for the day, like that room became an auction room, and we were selling off just old like banners and old other things, and I was gonna sell off all these cutouts and I forgot.
So glad you didn't, man. Those things are sick, bro. Those things are sick. So there's very few people in this industry that I think can pull off a con like that. You, Brian, like there's with the fan base, for creators, there's a couple, but there's not many. And I tip my hat to you, bro, for pulling it off. And I hope it happens again, because I think that's one of the coolest parts about the industry and the comic book collecting community is the fandom and the brotherhood that kind of happens within that fandom, which you definitely see,
it was
that
definitely like it was definitely a busy show where I'm like, I should have did 2 days, because it was from start to finish. Like my line never stopped. So I just was standing there just signing. I never sat down. And then at the very last hour of the show, my back just cinched up and said, "You better sit the fuck down." And I was like, "All right." so that's what happened. But yeah, I remember we put Polito, like we were near one corner and he was near another corner, and we would just look over at each other once in a while, and like our lines didn't stop. It was just parallel like that, like down the room. And it were just like, yeah, we should have did 2 days.
Yeah, that's sick. That's really cool, man. But that's a big undertaking, but not as big an undertaking as this right here, which again, there's very few people in this industry that I think can pull off creating their own crowdfunding effort. Brian Polito being one, and now Dan Mendoza being one. This is pretty amazing. The Still Ill Comics Collective, or S.I.C.K, which I love that acronym. Such a cool way to do it. It fits you guys perfectly. And man, like I said, this is a big undertaking.
Yeah, it's I kind of pay attention. I'm always paying attention to what's going on with like crowdfunding sites and stuff like that. And the biggest thing had been like more in the lines of like Kickstarter kind of give more and more power over to Stripe, which is just who handles the money flow. And it was, I don't know how it works, basically, but yeah, they had to kind of, like, if Stripe didn't like something, they would have to shut it down. And so a lot of people were kind of like getting canceled right at the last second, or their campaign would complete, but then they wouldn't get paid. Ooh. You know what I mean? Or a Kickstarter would fight to make sure they got paid. But then after they got paid, Stripe would ban them so that person can't use Stripe anymore. So it was a lot of that kind of stuff I kept looking into and stuff, and I kind of saw it coming. And then I started just building it, and then I was just like, well, I guess it's time to learn how to build a website from scratch. So I kind of started reading and watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I learned everything through YouTube, man. So I kind of learned how to build this stuff, and like about 50% into it is when Kickstarter pulled the plug and decided that they were going to change all their rules, where basically you couldn't, if someone's opinion that works at Kickstarter or Stripe opinion is that a drawing is too sexy, then you will get banned. You're going to get cut. So it's like, just Sad Girl here, like you're showing that she's just standing there holding a gun. Someone can say that, yeah, that's objectifying women. You can't do that. And then all of a sudden I wouldn't have a campaign. So I don't want to have to go through that every single time we do a campaign. So we just kept building this. And then right when they pulled the plug, I was at 75% finished. So what, it took a little longer than I thought, because right at the end we had problems getting the shipping to work right the way I wanted it to. The plugins weren't working as well as I wanted to. And then same thing with payments, trying to find payments and payment plans and stuff like that. And one of the options on there, of course, is Stripe, because Stripe is like almost a monopoly these days. And of course, Stripe didn't like it. And it wasn't because of the content. It was because we don't support crowdfunding, and that's what you're doing. Oh. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. So, but but we went through, I was like, it's not crowdfunding. Like it's really a pre-order store, So, but you know what I mean? It's just the wording. So I appealed it, but they never got back to me. But it didn't matter because I went over and and I went through PayPal, and I went through Square. You can do Cash App, you can do Venmo, you can do, like, there's all kinds of different ways you could pay. We got pay over time options and all that stuff, because that's the biggest difference with Kickstarter, is that you pay at the end of 30 days. And for us, it's like you pay when you make your order. Or you can pick pay over time. So yeah, this is the site. This is whenever there's a new campaign, you can go into the campaign. You know, we do our countdown of how many days left of the campaign, just some preview pages of the
Look how
interior.
beautiful that interior art
Yeah.
looks amazing, dude.
That's Pablo Munoz, man. He's my man right there, dude.
That looks.
He was at IlCon, dude. He flew in from Brazil, dude, to go to that show. I was like,
Wow.
you're crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
That's beautiful stuff.
We just unlocked some freebies. It's going really good. It's just a slow burn because to get people to hold their hand and have them come over, like, you know, hold their hand from Kickstarter and have them come over, you know, and you can post as many times as you want. You can send out newsletters many times as you want. You can send out text messages many times as you want. It takes a while for it to click into people's heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's what we're kinda
Kickstarter
doing.
has become the industry standard. You know what I mean? Like it's almost such to a point where, you know, like with tissues, you call them Kleenex. You know, crowdfunding is called, like, people say, "Oh, are you going to do a Kickstarter?" when they're saying you're doing a crowdfunding effort, and it's such a bummer because the comics industry said, "Okay, we want to try this, and we want to support." You know, not only is Kickstarter helping the comics industry in that, but the comics industry is supporting Kickstarter as well. Like, how many of people in the comics industry have helped that platform become what it is? And they're just kind of saying, well, we don't care about you anymore. So I hope that the vast majority, if Kickstarter continues the bullshit that you know, with Stripe and all this, it's basically, you know, if they continue that bullshit, then I hope that more comic creators figure out a way to create their own effort like this, you know?
I think eventually there will be there is a one company that's trying to do a new platform that's good for not safe for work material and stuff like that. But I think there is going to be something's going to come up that's going to change it up, and Kickstarter is going to kind of dwindle, or something's going to happen with Kickstarter where they find a better way to handle this, you know, because they're going to see how much money they're losing. You know, our campaigns do about $75,000 a campaign or something like that, to, like, you know, it depends on the character, you know. Zombie Tramp, of course, is a big money maker. And even right now, like, just to get people to kind of be aware that we're leaving, like, Sad Girl is actually up on Kickstarter right now with only 4 covers to choose from. And so people are kind of like, what's happening? Where's the covers? And then I'll be like, email me. And they email me. I'm like, come here. And then they go. So we're still going to do that, like, you know, just for the rest of the year to kind of try to get people to come over, you know, get the awareness going. And, but one of the things in their new rules is that our next campaign is Zombie Tramp. And it's kind of like, according to the rules, I can't even have a title of a comic book with a word that's derogatory towards women. So,
oh my God.
So it's kind of funny, dude. So I'm gonna throw it in and see what happens. But if they even had a problem with the title of our comic book, which the definition of tramp is a homeless wanderer, it's pretty funny. Like Nightmare was saying, like, just change the name on the Kickstarter and call it Zombie Tickle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, that's amazing. That's amazing. But yeah, if you show the campaign, I could just show you just real quick. One of the main things I tell people when you go onto the homepage, and you scroll all the way down the bottom, like before you start ordering, just it's the best thing to go down there and say my account and actually make an account, because then you'll get all the updates. You'll get, you know what I mean, you'll be able to be in the comment section. You'll be able to do all the things, you know what I mean. And then after you order, you can track everything on your order, you know what I mean. But if you go to order now, which is down at the bottom right there, so that would be every single thing we have available.
That was my next question. Is this are you gonna only be doing comics here, or is there other things? And obviously here we are.
Everything. So we have 44 variant covers. We got 5 pieces of merch, prints, digital, everything. We got your risque, your full risque. We got everything that is all of a sudden a no now. So
I love this image right here. That image is so dope.
Dude, Yum is the shit. And you can see, like, this is how you pay. And like you don't have to just click these buttons right away. You just hit add to cart, and it takes you to a whole different section. Like just add that cart to cart just for fun.
And that's another great thing is that all these different ways to pay is going to help so many different people, because I constantly have people, whenever we talk about somebody's campaign on Kickstarter asking, hey, can I pay with this? Can I pay over time? Can I pay,
Yeah. So hit view cart. So even we got like Cannibal Kitty at the top, like, talking about the order and look at all the goodies. When you go to final checkout, I think it's one of our other characters, Maggie. So when you go to proceed to checkout is when it changes. So you got PayPal, Venmo, you got your thing pull down there. This is where you got your Cash App, you got everything, dude. So it's just kind of like it's there's all kinds of ways to pay, man, and it's
I don't think people realize just how hard it is, bro, to set all that up. Like that
is a lot, dude. Like so
I'm impressed.
Right when
awesome,
right when I was like about 75% into it ever, I have an older brother, and he called me on the phone, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like building a website. He's like, and I told him what was going on, and he was like, dude, what about my boy Jesse or whatever? And I was like, oh shit. I actually thought about him, because he's friends with a guy that builds websites from scratch and stuff like that, and he does it for the adult industry, so he knew all the things about different payment platforms and things like that. But he's built websites for lawyers, for adult industry, for all kinds of different things. So he had never done anything for comic books. So I hit him up, and he helped me with all the technical stuff at the very end, man. So
that's crazy, man.
It's making all those accounts with those payment providers, and then you got to have all the legal shit squared away to get accepted by them.
Yeah.
And then adding them to your site, bro, that's a huge amount of work, man. Kudos to you for all that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Thanks. Yeah. And as time kept going, I was like, I think I'm learning all this shit. Like I'm just like going on, because it's not like something where we wanted to build in Shopify. Like when we did IlCon, we did our pre-order through Shopify, and it was pretty easy and it was pretty fun. But right when we did the pre-orders, Shopify flagged us, and they were just like, hey, you're doing pre-orders. That's a big red flag. So we're not going to pay you until you show that you're starting to ship stuff. So I was like, okay, no problem. So then once we did that, they took off the flag and everything was cool. But yeah, Shopify still has to, you know what I mean? Shopify is a company, you know what I mean? And like they have to bow down to whoever allows their payment platforms and things like that. So that's why I was like, I'm going to build this from scratch. That way I don't have to basically bow down to anybody, I could just build it. And so,
that's great. No one can pull the plug on you or say this or that. Like I've had problems with Shopify. I tried to start a new website for the Patreon, and they shut it down fast. They're like, you can't use Shopify payments so I had to find a secondary payment provider, and then they're high risk payment providers. So they charge way more than the 2.4% plus 30 cents. You're looking at like 4% or something like that. And it's like, oh my God, like that's crazy.
One of the things about Kickstarter that's such a pain in the ass also is it's a shitty website, to be honest. Like there's so many problems with like trying to see what you're going to back, and the being able to get your items. You have to do the survey, and it's just
they give you one page, and it's an infinite scroll.
Yeah, the infinite scroll.
Yeah. And then you got to scroll, and if you want to see something on the right, you got to scroll there, and you're trying to give them all this information. You're trying to explain to somebody. I mean,
I had forgotten I backed something, and I went in there to check somebody's new stuff, and I was like, oh, I never sent in the survey, so that's why I didn't even remember what it was I was supposed to get.
Yeah, that's another thing with our site is that there won't be any surveys. Like right when you do the order, you're picking, do you want it signed? Do you want it not signed? Do you want to put it in a top loader? Like, we have these editions called autograph editions where we print your name on the book. So when you fill it out, you're like, do you want it signed, not signed? Do you want it in a top loader? And what name do you want on the book? So we don't have to worry about that now. We just, download the Excel sheet and just kind of look at it and put the orders in. So
that's dope. That's super cool.
Yeah. Because doing backer kit, that's another, everybody has their hands out, dude. So you gotta pay out to Kickstarter, you gotta pay out to Stripe, you gotta pay out to BackerKit for your survey, all that stuff. And because of that, us not doing that, we're able to save some money. So we just drop the prices. We just drop the prices on everything, dude. So yeah, this is where we do updates. You know, that's the latest update I did today.
I love that. Yeah, that's smart to have the project updates all under one thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's...
Oh, and then go to comments. Let me see.
Down here.
No, there's a comment section at like a whole different tab.
Oh,
like
right here. Yeah. Hell yeah.
So then even in comments, we got like testimonials from Josh Howard, Brian Polito, Jim Ballant, Tim Seeley about Still Ill Comics. You know, got to sign up for our newsletter, and down here we got where people can just comment whatever they want to put on there. They can put on there. So
I love that. That's almost like a message board, like a little Facebook community of its own.
Yep.
For
it's building a community.
That's very smart. I love that, man. Hell yeah. And we got a ton of people in the chat that said that they've backed and that they're backing.
Yeah,
so
that's also at the top for people, like we used to do it on Kickstarter where like if you missed out on some back issues, you can order them, but now we just have the visit our shop, and you can just get any back order stuff you want right there when you go to visit shop. So this is just the prompt that you know, if you click the take me there, you're going to go to our other website, which is for the store and stuff.
Is there plans to at some point just to put them all together? Because because this what we use for our store has been big cartel since a long time ago, and we're running out of space. So
wow.
We're at the top tier where you pay for, you know, you're paying a tier that allows so many items, and which is kind of, it's kind of like lame, like these days. Like you don't have to do that. Like you don't have to do that with Shopify. You don't have to do that with other people, but they still have that. So it's kind of like we're running out of space. So that's the plan, is to move it.
That's dope.
You know, but I want to move it to where that order now, which will say like, you know, pre-order or something, and the visit our shop will be 2 separate stores. You know what I mean? Where you don't get them confused.
Yeah.
As long as I could do that, I'll be fine. Like, you know what I mean? So like what you're looking at now, that would be like whatever campaign's running. But when you hit the visit our shop, it'll be a whole separate list of books available for that. That's a buy it now.
That's a great looking cover as well too.
Yeah, that's the She-Hulk homage.
Yeah, it's dope, dude.
So cool.
I've been doing that this whole year. Like every single character is that exact same cover, the She-Hulk homage. So.
That's dope. Ladies and gentlemen, Steven Fuentes from Most Wanted Comics joining us. Steven, this is Dan Mendoza. Dan, Steven from Most Wanted.
Hey, what's up, Dan?
Hey, man.
How you doing?
Good, man.
What's up, guys?
So, and other than just creating the website and having to deal with the payment plans, was there any other big hurdles that you had to jump through to do this? Because otherwise, you know, it's just another thing for other creators out there that if you thought about it, you know, it's easy.
Taking the time to learn it was a pain in the ass. Like I'm like behind schedule by like a month and a half because of it. But I some of the plugins just weren't working right. Like I wanted to do live weights. Like, you know what I mean? Like every package is based on weight. Like every item has a weight to it. But I wanted live you know what I mean, like pricing, like, you know, like where UPS, when you go to checkout, according to UPS, that weight will cost this much, or this much, and you pick what you want. So that plugin didn't work. The USPS plugin didn't work. The FedEx plugin didn't work. And then we would make ticket orders, and then we would have to be on the phone with these people, and then they couldn't figure it out. So then we would be on an email, and they would ask us what the problem is. I'm like, don't you read the damn ticket order, dude? And it was like a back and forth thing forever. So I finally squashed all that. And what we did was flex shipping. And flex shipping is that I had to sit there and base weight and pricing. So like if something like 1 to 2 books is like, you know, 8 ounces or whatever, if you get one, and then that's going to equal, you know, in America, like about $6 shipping or $7 shipping, you know, but I would separate it for the East Coast to the West Coast. So it would cost more if I'm shipping to California. And I had to do that with every single weight. So I would do like the 0 to to 8 ounces, and then the 9 ounces to a pound, and then a pound to 4 pounds, and I just sat there and did it, and that's the thing that worked. It was time consuming, but that seemed to work. I didn't have to worry about those plugins failing on me. So.
I've heard that quite a bit from other people in the industry, that one of the things that's the biggest pain in the ass is setting up your shipping stuff, whether, from multiple different platforms, whether you have your own website, whether you're doing it through your live selling platform, your Shopify store, whatever it is, that the shipping platforms can be the biggest pain in the ass. But once you do it, it might take a little bit of time, but once you do it, that's one of the biggest hurdles that you have. So that's interesting. Is there any thoughts?
Other than that, it's just learning, dude. It was just lots of learning, but whatever.
Well, in YouTube and AI and, Chat GPT or Claude, YouTube, you can learn to do just about anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll tell you one thing. I got stuck a couple times on stuff. And instead of having to look it up and stuff, I did use ChatGPT. I just put it on where you talk to them. So I have them on a separate tab, but I'm on the site, and I was like, hey, this is glitching and this is what I'm using. And then it would be okay. So it tells me like it knows, but it's really searching it for me. So it would walk me through step by step. They're like, oh, go down to this, click that, and change this. And in one case, I had something was working with when you look at your I think it's when you look at your checkout, it wasn't the checkout, it was something like your like when you look at the my account section, it didn't have your order, and it didn't list it. It got deleted, and I couldn't get it back. So at one point ChatGPT just said, here's the coding for it, copy and paste it, and I did it, and it's fucking
that's awesome.
I did that in 3 minutes, dude, as opposed to sitting there having to read about it and figure it out. So how
many, since you announced this, have you had any other creators or people reach out to you and be like, hey, can you, I'm thinking about doing the same thing. What was your thought process on it?
Yeah. A couple people have talked to me about it. Some people are interested in it. So I'm like, yeah, if they're interested in stuff and they want the name of the guy that helped me out and everything, I'm more than willing to talk about him, and just just message me, and I could send him your way or send you to him, whatever. But it's the thing about it, which is hard, is that you have to have a following that's going to follow you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's one of the hardest things. That's going to be one of the hardest things for us as far as hurdles, is that Kickstarter is a platform where people know to go for indie comics just to shop. It's like walking down aisles, just shopping, dude, just looking for stuff. They're just browsing, and that's where we get like 20% of our orders, just people just browsing, dude. So you got to figure out how to get those people to be hardcore fans, where they want your content so much that they're willing to leave Kickstarter to go check it out and stuff. So that's one of the biggest hurdles.
Do you think that's
to make sure you have that fan base to follow you? Sorry.
No, I apologize. Do you think that is the number one thing? If there's somebody out there that is asking questions about, how to do all this stuff, is that the number one thing? Hey, work on creating a fan base in your following first before you do something like this, because that is a big deal. That's how I found a lot of my current favorite creators, is just browsing on Kickstarter. And we don't think about that. So it sounds like the number one thing is, hey, obviously, create good product, but 2, create your following and your fan base first.
Yeah, me too. I found so many amazing artists and cool titles on Kickstarter, and it's like a whole thing. It's like I would always tell people, when they're at conventions and stuff, when they ask about how to get started or whatever and things like that, and it's always been be good to your fans, follow through with what you're going to get done. You know what I mean? And it's kind of that's the way I've been, man, for what is it, almost 17 years now. Just making comic books and just always being good to my fans, always treating them like they're, they're just a buddy. They're a buddy. I I don't go to the table and just act miserable and shit all day. Like when people come to my table, it's you get a good experience that you came and you saw the artwork and I was nice, and you know what I mean, and we treated you with decency and things
It's
like
funny
that.
you say that, Dan, because we just got a chat message that says, I met Dan Mendoza at Dallas HorrorCon in 2018. I was wearing a provocative Roxy Music shirt with 2 girls in their undies. Dan was glad to share a picture with me. Nice guy and interesting artist. So there you go. I mean, that's a perfect example, of like you've got to build that fan base and be cool to prospective fans. That's very important.
Yeah, it's so
We got a lot of Zombie Tramp fans over here in Corpus, believe it or not.
Hell yeah.
Texas.
I have a mapping of where we send all of our stuff, and a large percentage of it goes to Texas, bro. It's Texas, California, Arizona, Florida, and New York, dude. Those are like the main spots, dude.
Every time I find Zombie Tramp, they're gone. I got to keep them away from the kiddos, but we do have older gentlemen that they do specifically buy those. It's cool.
Yeah,
so,
I think Zombie Tramp is one of the main IPs that people collect in comic books, right? There's certain characters that have just created this huge fan base. Zombie Tramp is definitely one of them. Is there any thoughts well, the reason why I'm asking that is because of that how much people are into Zombie Tramp and that character that Emmett was talking a few shows ago about how he went on. This was back right before Diamond was crashing out. That he went on Diamond and just bought a huge amount of Zombie Tramp stuff over there, and it sells like crazy for him. What are your thoughts on maybe can you do both? Can you do the direct to consumer type thing for your comic character and be through distribution through Lunar or Universal? Is there any thoughts with you for that right now?
Yeah,
considering.
You could totally do it. When we strung off, in the Action Lab days were done and stuff, and we were just self-publishing. I was like, all right, we got to get back into Diamond. So right when we did it, it was awful, dude. It was basically they would take such a high cut that by the time you printed and shipped it out and everything like that, you actually lost money. Like you weren't profiting at all. Like they were just eating you up, dude. And so we were just like, yeah, we don't want to do this. And then later on, of course, Diamond filed for bankruptcy. And but yeah, we're kind of in the thing now since we're just a small company and we're just what, 3 people. So it's kind of like I am kind of thinking about looking to someone else for distribution as far as looking towards Image or like Oni or Dark Horse or something like that, just to see if they want to take care of all that in the store stuff, because we don't want to do it, dude. Like I think it's great to get your comic books on the shelves, because that's people know me because of Zombie Tramp the most. You know why? Because she was on shelves.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like all the other characters were born. They were born on the internet, dude. And one of our characters, Sugar Pop, is like the second most highest ranked character, which is amazing because she was just yeah. Oh yeah, go to there and just and open the book.
This is great, dude.
You can pull it you can even pull it with your mouse. There's Sugar
Look
Pop
at
on the
this.
right.
This
but
is
yeah,
awesome.
That's one of the things where you can just kind of go through everybody's bios and stuff like that. But yeah, you can actually pull the page with your mouse, dude.
That's so cool, dude. Look at that.
Isn't that cool?
So again, yeah, I mean, that's crazy to think that through Zombie Tramp, like you said, getting into shops and creating this fan base, you have all these other characters that you've created, that have fans have gravitated to through this.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, dude. I love this. This is such a cool thing.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, so I think being on a comic book store shelf definitely does help a lot. So, but that's one of the hardest things to do is to get your stuff on the shelves. But
well, you know, Dan, let's connect, Dan. I need some more books on my shelf because we'll move to a larger location. So
hell yeah, dude. Yeah, hit me up, and we offer wholesale, dude, to
Nice.
stores. So
that was going to be my next question. If there is a retailer out there like Most Wanted Comics in Corpus Christi or Haven for Heroes in Port Jervis or Comics Elite, you know, that want to put stuff on their shelves or in their live sales, what do you have set up for them?
We do 40% off after you spend $600. Super simple, bro. It's like you can spend $600 with the quickness, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
you
pretty
can.
good.
$600 is good, dude. Shout out to one of our fans in England today, dude. He made a $700 purchase, and is going out to England. One of the cool things just about the collective, the Still Ill Kollective, is that if you live outside the U.S. or in the U.S., it doesn't matter. If you spend $200, the shipping becomes free.
Ooh, that's a big deal for people outside the U.S. Yeah,
it's automated for that. That's what I'm saying, man. That dude spent $700 and he's getting shipping free. We got a guy in Germany that always buys, and he's super happy about that because Germany shipping's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And look, Gore has a near complete run of Zombie Tramp, including variants. Man,
yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow. Gore says, I have a near complete run of Zombie Tramp, including variants. Dan's art is playful and engaging. When he left the book, it wasn't the same. A comic shop sold them next to My Little Pony. Yeah, that's ridiculous, dude. That's ridiculous.
That's hilarious.
So the other thing about this that's very interesting to me is that, you know, this could be just more than crowdfunding, right? Like you could bring in other artists into this. Is there any thoughts of like even creating these types of sites for other artists? Because that could be another play. If you're the type of person that has figured this out, hey, I'll help you create a site like this, or, you know.
Yeah. No. I wouldn't, just because, man, this stuff is taking up so much of my time that some days, like, I don't get to draw. Like, I'll get to draw like maybe 2 days a week sometimes. I get so mad, dude. Like, I'm just like, I haven't drawn like in 3 days or whatever, and it just like, I'm trying to figure out how to do some of this stuff and just get it taken care of so I could spend more time drawing. Like the past couple days that I've been able to draw. So I'm so happy about that, to work on interior pages, man, because like most artists out there so don't even do interiors no more, dude. They just want to be cover artists, man. But man, that's where you learn everything, man, those interiors. But like when I was a kid, dude, I'm a big 90s collector, you know what I mean? That's the height of comic book collecting for me. Runs of Silver Surfer and X Factor and X-Men and all that stuff, the Mark Silvestri runs X-Men, all that stuff. But when you went and bought a book and the cover art was the exact same art that was inside, oh my gosh, that was the greatest, dude. That was the greatest, because you're buying it as an artist, as someone who loved to draw and wanted to do comic books one day, like to like have an artist that you like and you pick up their book. You pick up a book and they did the cover and they did every single page, dude. Like that's so much reference for your brain, dude. Like of how they do anatomy and how they do poses and facial expressions and things like that. And that's all lacking today, dude. Everybody just wants to have the glory of being a pinup artist, man. But I'm just like imagine if Art Germ did interiors, like he did a book where he did a cover and he did the whole fucking interiors, dude. That would be a masterpiece, dude. Yeah, masterpiece.
I think that you hit it on the head when I asked you, like, hey, do you think you could help other people? You're like, no, because you don't have the time. And creators and artists or creators and writers should be drawing, they should be writing, they should, you guys, creators have become like the like Da Vinci of this day, right? They're drawing, they're building websites, they're running media companies, they're doing so much, and it sounds like there's a big space to be filled for people to come in and say, hey, okay, instead of creators having to do all this, let's have somebody come in and do this. So maybe if there's somebody out there listening that is hearing this, here's a perfect example of maybe if you want to get into the comic book industry, help figure out ways to do this for creators, figure out a way to, you know, get creators back to just drawing or creating rather than becoming, you know, full-fledged media companies.
Yeah, and then shout out to my boy Russ Cassidy, man. Russ Cassidy has helped us and a lot of other people on Kickstarter with so many projects. Like, as far as like, we know now we got to do a survey. I have to learn this, I have to do that. And Russ Cassidy's like, got you, dude. And like, he would knock it out. I never had to worry about stuff. You know what I mean? And he, whenever I had problems with anything, he would just like, all the technical shit, he was just like, I got it, dude. And that he's been amazing, dude. And like, we'll still continue to use him, you know, as long as he'll have us, dude. Because there's guys out there that just know that stuff. Their brain works that way, dude. And those are the guys you got to find to help you out, dude. Because you just want to be, at the end of the day, you just want to be creative, you know. So
yeah, I hear that from not from every, but the majority of creators that we've had on this channel. That's one of the things that I hear the most is, you know, I just want to find time to actually draw. I just want to find time to, you know, write. I just want to, and that was the big
pushback when Mayhew was telling all artists they should start their own business and do their own thing and stream and sell directly to customer. And it's like, most people aren't designed to do that. You know, I mean, most your typical artists that, like you said, they just want to draw. I want to draw and create, and I don't want to learn how to, like, I mean, Feather and Dance have, and most people don't want to learn how to build the whole website. You know, they want to draw.
That's the thing that I tell a lot of creators is, you know, because anybody can hit me up for advice on things. I'll talk to them. I'll give them advice. I don't always answer that day, but I try to. And but one of the things is that if you want to be completely indie, dude, you have to start learning the business side. Like, and you have to start. You have to push it, like the birth of Image Comics, man, with Rob Liefeld being on a Levi's jean commercial and all that shit, where all of a sudden, like, a comic book artist changed, where you knew their face, you knew their name, and even to this day, like I'm introverted as fuck, dude, but like I make myself do shows. We do a show every other Wednesday called Ill Mannered, and it's just kind of like putting yourself out there, dude. Like, because a lot of us artists, man, we're super introverted, dude. But if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't make yourself like do these videos, go to shows and be friendly with people and stuff like that, you're not gonna pull in that fan base, dude. You want people to remember you, you know. I'm a Arnold Schwarzenegger guy, so I follow the rules, like the rules of success, and one of his is that it's kind of like, this is the whole story that, you know, that comedian Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, he talked about the day he met Arnold Schwarzenegger. So the day he met Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was at some premiere or some shit, and Arnold was there, and he was just like, oh shit, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. And his publicist is like, dude, you want to meet him? He's like, yeah, dude. So all of a sudden he comes up to him, all right, it's time, let's go meet him. And he's like, okay. And then all of a sudden they go, just stand there. And he sees Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's a line of people just standing. And Arnold Schwarzenegger goes to each one and he gives them, like, he talks to them, you know, like Arnold talks. He shakes his hand and he's like jokes about their grip, like they're how strong and all this stuff. And he gives them, he walks away from every single fan where they felt like they got that full experience. Like they met the guy they always wanted to meet. It wasn't disappointing. It was amazing. And so he's like, I got the Arnold Schwarzenegger experience. I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger in no means, but like I do remember that, dude. Like I don't want to, like, when someone walks away from meeting me, especially for the first time, they were like, man, that guy's kind of a prick, or man, that guy's miserable. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
What's your next con appearance, Dan? You got a Comic-Con appearance coming up?
Yeah. So I got since I live in Michigan now, so I try to do local shows a lot. Local shows have been good to me. So we got Me Anime, which is a Michigan anime show. It's our first time doing an anime show. I've been wanting to jump into anime shows for a while, so we're going to jump into that. We got like a 10 by 20 booth. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Like that's our kind of our thing, because my style it meshes well with anime. Like our characters are more on the anime influence, like the storyline's a little bit more on the anime influence. So we're hoping to start pulling in new fans through these anime shows. But I have that, and I think I'll find out this Friday if I'm gonna go to Fan Expo Chicago. I'm on the waiting list. and then I'm gonna do a horror show in Michigan. It's like Detroit Horror, or something like that, and that's their first year doing a show. And then nothing too crazy after that. I think I'm doing a show in Monroe, Michigan. So a lot of Michigan stuff, but like, I'm finishing the year with New York Comic Con. Sorry.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
I haven't
been there, Dan. I'm gonna be there.
Hell yeah, dude. I haven't been in New York shit, man, in like 11 years. So I didn't feel like going back at all. And then one of the retailers I'm friends with, he was like, "Hey, you gonna do New York?" I go, "No, I don't want to deal with it." And he goes, "What if I give you a full 6-foot table, I pay for your hotel, like, and all this stuff. You can just mail all your stuff to me. You don't have to bring nothing. It'll be there waiting for you. And then when you leave, we'll mail it back to you. And, and all you got to do is do it an exclusive for us." And I was like, down, dude. So yeah, I'll be doing a New York Comic Con. So I thought that was great.
One of the reoccurring themes on the show has been creators kind of taking ownership of more parts of the business. And we've seen creators become publishers, we've seen creators become retailers. And now you're launching your own crowdfunding platform.
Yeah.
Have you been following the drama with Mark Brooks and what he's been talking about lately at all on Facebook? Have you seen any of that?
No, I've kind of been staying out of that.
Which is totally fine. I understand that, but there's been this.
I would love to hear about it.
So there's been this big thing going on because Mark has kind of come out and said, that there's a lot of really kind of shitty retailers in the business that have been taking advantage of artists through the retailer exclusive game and that type of stuff. And it's kind of blown up and been this long conversation that's been happening for the last couple of weeks that we've kind of hit on, but. Ultimately, this thing with creators becoming, more than just a creator is the main point of this whole thing to me. And I think that I don't know if now more than ever that creators kind of have an obligation do they have an obligation to support local comic shops or local cons, or should they kind of, be free to sell however they choose type deal? Is there any thoughts on from you about your relationship with retailers, in this game?
I don't really have too much of a relationship with retailers anymore. Like it's not, I didn't do it on purpose. It just kind of, like once my stuff wasn't in Diamond anymore, they didn't want to reach out. So it was no big deal, but, we still get people that hit us up every once in a while, and then, we offer them the wholesale and all that stuff. But if you're a creator, you could do whatever you want, man. Like I say, get a little bit into the comic book stores, be cool to your retailers, try to be at the free comic book day. You know what I mean? And then you still have, make your appearances at shows and try to do different shows, try to venture out. When I had a day job, that's what I spent all my vacation days on, was going to shows, dude. So I would be traveling everywhere, and or if I ran out of vacation days, I would just call in sick, dude. But yeah, it's you can do whatever you want, man. If you're a creator, dude, that's what being creative is, man. But as far as running a business, you got to start thinking differently, man. And it's hard, man. It's hard for me to figure it out, but I got it down now, dude. But it's just like, it was a whole different way of thinking, man, running a business, man. Because you can being a cover artist is a tough game, bro. Like, being a cover artist is a hustle, bro, because you could be the greatest cover artist ever, but eventually people are going to forget about you, dude. Like, you know what I mean? So you're going to come up and then you're going to disappear. But if you're a cover artist who decides to be a creator and then makes content and then makes an IP and then makes characters that people can connect with, now you go from big time cover artist, and then you kind of come off that cover artist game, but you stay there because people know the characters you made and they love them, bro. Like, they have that connection with those characters, and I tell that people all the time, man. Like, like eventually, dude, people are gonna stop asking you for covers. Then what do? You know what I mean?
That's a great way to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can only hustle so much and keep doing conventions. You're gonna burn out, bro. You're gonna burn out. Like I'm burnt the fuck out, dude. I'll tell you right now. We were telling backstage, I have to take a nap every day, dude. I used to never do that. I used to never do that, dude. I'm just working all the time. Like I'll work from 6 to 6 every day, dude. But now I'm just
getting old.
Yeah, now I'm just like, man, you know what would be nice is a nap.
Yeah.
But I had a conversation with one of my creator friends once, talking about just artists in general. The thing about being a comic book artist, traditionally it's been someone pencils it, someone's inks it, someone colors it. You know what I mean? Then you got your editor and all that stuff does the logo and all that stuff, and it goes out into the world. And I was having a conversation with him once. And I'm like, why is it like that still, bro? Like why does it take like 8 people to do one cover, man? Like, you know what I mean? And I go, I do everything from beginning to end, you know? And like, how come no one wants to do that? And how come no one wants to learn how to ink? How come no one wants to learn how to color so they could take pride in that art piece that they'd made from beginning to end, you know? And his answer was that I'm an anomaly.
Well, you are, bro. You 100% are. There's very few
will do a cover from scratch. Like very few.
Well, not only just a cover.
Traditionally,
you're creating the character. There's a lot of creators who create the character, draw the character, write the book, do the interiors. And you brought up interior art, how very few artists do interiors and covers anymore. Where back in the day, you had the cover artists doing the interiors. You know, you brought up Silvestri. I remember those Silvestri era X-Men books were some of my favorite X-Men books.
An Inferno run.
And that Inferno run was fucking amazing. The covers looked like cinematic theater posters. The interior art was there. There's so much that now creators, like you said, aren't doing. There's very few, but there are a couple. I give a lot more respect to those creators with my dollar than others because I see how much work they're putting into it. That it takes a lot to do that.
I always tell people also, like when they ask me like at shows, like other artists and stuff, and I tell them, I go, learn how to do everything yourself, dude. Just because you don't have to rely on anybody to come through for you. Like that's the thing. Like I would color. To this day, I don't like to color, dude. I don't like it, dude. I just like if I could just pencil everything and just call it good, I'd be happy, dude. But I don't. I do it from beginning to end because I've had people color my stuff, and I'm like, I don't like the way that looks, and I go and I fix it. But you know, or people that don't come through for you, where they said they were going to do something, and they don't. You know what I mean? So it's kind of there's a good sense of pride to finish something from beginning to end. But also, what I tell creators is that if you can learn to do everything yourself, you're saving money. So that's another thing.
Yeah, and not having to rely. It's nice to work with a partner, and that can be in major ways and small ways, right? Like you're partnering up with somebody because you don't like doing coloring. You're finding somebody that can color your stuff. That's a partnership, right? You're not being able to do your own printing. You're finding a printer that can print your stuff. That's a partnership, and that's all fine and dandy, and it's great. But if you can do it on your own, and it's not stretching you too thin, that's a good thing too. I feel like there's so much of this world that people think is black and white, and that it has to be this way or it has to be that way. And it's actually, when you look at it, it's all nuance. There's so many different situations where you have to think certain ways because of this situation. And I feel like in today's industry, there are so many creators that can be their own retailers, but at the same time, working with other retailers can help put out your product into an area that you might not be able to get to. You know what I mean? You're opening up if you're working with, you can have your own store, your own web store. You can do your own crowdfunding effort like, Still Ill Comics Collective, which is great. But at the same time, you can also open up your characters and your IPs to a new audience by working with other retailers or other artists in that way too.
Yeah, it's all like, you know what I mean? Like supposed to be a community thing where, you know, like retailers help out artists, artists help out retailers, all that stuff, you know, and like my fan base is the fan base I created, but if I work with certain retailers, I might pull in new fans, you know. If I get my stuff on the shelf, I might pull in new fans. If I go to a convention I've never been before, I'm pulling in new fans. So it's all about trying to work with, you know, with different sides of it and different, you know, things like that, you know. So
and that's what some of these guys don't get. That's what the Mayhews of the world don't get when they say you don't need anybody else, do it all by yourself. Is that I do at least two, I'm pretty sure it's two. I do at least two big Zombie Tramp exclusives with Dan every year.
That's right.
And we did this year. We've already done a Dominic Tag one and a Shikari one, and it works great for me because I get to get a new property that my guys don't see all the time. It's fresh to them, or the old fans that love Zombie Tramp are like, "Fuck yeah, Zombie Tramp!"
Yeah.
And they get to get in there and get that. I'm advertising Zombie Tramp everywhere on my website, on my emails, introducing people to it's like a win-win. We trade exclusives. He'll get a couple variants, I get a couple variants. It's a great deal we got worked out.
Yeah, when I jumped on your Whatnot the other day, Sean, that was funny. I jumped on his, I saw he was on Whatnot, and they're like, "Oh, Dan Mendoza's in the room. All right, sell this Zombie Tramp for $10."
I'm glad I was there. So we were on Merc, and my guy that does the Merc streams put a Zombie Tramp book up as the thumbnail, and I said, "You know this isn't Merc, right?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I know, but it's such a good cover. I wanted to put it up there." And I was like, "Well, you're on a stream as a publisher. I don't put up another property that's not part of our thing."
Yeah.
I said, "I just don't want it to be confusing to anybody." He's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "I can change it." And he's like, "No, leave it. You already got it up. It's fine." And
Yeah,
sure enough, Dan shows up in there, and I instantly started laughing. I was like, "Oh my God, this is perfect." So then I poked my guy. I was like, "Hey, see." Like I knew Dan wasn't going to throw a fit, but I was like, "See, Dan's in the show. He's probably wondering who's got my Zombie Champ book up. like who the hell's?" And I know that you know who I am, but I use it as an example to him. Like, see, everybody's watching. Oh, you know, like what's that cartoon? Always watching, right?
Well, yeah. That's marketing, and I want to ask a question about that in a second. But Chonkos Comics dropped a $9.99 super chat. He says, "Dan's great.
Chonko.
Zombie Tramp is great. Beyond Wednesday's great. Trifecta."
Nice.
Yeah,
We did
Chonko's
Chonko's show like a month ago or so.
Yeah, good
Nice.
dude. Good dude. This question right here: marketing is the most difficult when going at it alone. Do you find, and like, talk about how you market and what are some of the trials and tribulations of marketing, you know, your IPs?
It's a challenge, man. Marketing's always changing. The way to do ads on the internet is always changing, but you stay with your core things, you know, where you constantly hit your socials, you build a newsletter, you send out emails, you build SMS newsletters where you're sending out text messages because people are always holding the phone. When you use sites that help you build newsletters and things like that, like they have better like analysis of things where it's just like according to everybody on your newsletter, this is the perfect time to send the email. Like it says, like for instance, for some reason my fans like to open up emails at 1 a.m. So at 1 a.m. tonight, an email is going to go out to everybody. But like, there's things like that. And, you know, when you're at shows, always have, you know, your QR codes that go to like a link tree of everywhere they could find you. You can do like, I don't really do Facebook ads, but we started doing Google ads because Google, it shows up everywhere. Mostly everybody uses Google, so your Google ads will show up on your shopping for other products, or you're on Facebook, whatever. Those Google ads will jump in, but you don't have to spend a shit ton of money. You can just do a little bit here and there. But the biggest thing for advertising is just to try to hit those basic avenues, man, of social media, newsletters, and promo at your shows.
Yeah, you said it perfect too. Like, and people also don't realize that you constantly need those new people coming in because, you know, your email and all that shit's expensive too, right? You're paying for SMS marketing is expensive. The more emails you send out, the more expensive it is. And no matter what, you're constantly having people, they'll join your email list, and sure enough, someone else will drop off or unsubscribe, or they just, you know, then you segment your audience. I stopped sending emails to people who haven't opened an email in a year or haven't bought from me in a year. They don't even get emails anymore because why send? I'm just wasting money sending them this stuff. You know, it's way more complex. And again, Dan's one of the few guys that gets it. He understands all the stuff. I love one of my favorite memories, man, was I'm at Dan's wedding, which I'm still flattered and honored I was invited.
It was good. Cool. It was a good wedding, man.
So cool, bro. And one of the coolest
weddings
I've ever
Tramp wedding.
It was a zombie tramp. Well, no, we had a signature cocktail called the zombie tramp. Dude. It was
that's cool.
I still got two of the drinks with your names on.
You got the bottles?
I do. I still got one open downstairs.
Yeah, there was the Cannibal Kitty and the zombie tramp signature drinks, dude.
I still got them. They're super cool. But I love me and Brian Polito were there, and the whole time we're talking about all this stuff. And my wife and his wife look at each other, kind of roll their eyes, and they're like, "We're gonna come over here and hang out and not talk about comics and
about
me
work."
And Brian me and Brian are like, that's all we want to do is talk about retention rates and, you know, retargeting newsletters and how do you retain customers and like the whole time. And I was joking. I was like, you know, if Dan wasn't getting married, he'd be right here with us talking about all this shit too. And he's like, oh yeah, he would.
Yeah, that's what I tend to always do that, man. I just I don't talk about anything but work, but like I get my wife gets on me a little bit. She's like, man, can you like not talk about work? I'm like, but that's what it's all about, dude. It's all about comic books, man. Comic books. Oh my gosh.
It's the mindset. I'm like that too here at our shop. Yeah. It's like it's nonstop. Today was insanely busy, but that's just the way it is, you know, and comics and toys now. And
yeah, man.
And when you get around other people that get it, you can finally talk about it, you know, like I mean, there's not a lot of people in the world you can have a conversation with about this kind of stuff. They just don't. It's going to go over their head. They're bored out of their minds. You know, oh, how do you do this? Oh, I tried this. No way, I tried that. It's just nerding out on each other about email retention rates. You know, like
yeah.
It's like in my sleep, I'm thinking about work. It's like it doesn't go away.
Same, it never stops. I mean, that's the good and bad of being we're in the industry show, man. It's the good and bad about being your own boss, man. Is people don't understand, bro. You can never turn it off. I say I had 3 days off. I didn't have 3 days off, man. I had 3 days where I didn't go to my store. That's what that means, right?
Like Still Ill runs Monday through Thursday, but it doesn't for me. Like, you know what I mean? But that just means that means nothing's getting done at the warehouse. That means I'm not answering emails, like nothing, dude. Like that's, you know, but it's a whole thing.
Yeah, I travel with my laptop and my 2 extending monitors to give me a 3-monitor setup because I have to at least log in for an hour or 2 every day just to check finances. Let me check my staff. Have any questions? Did all the money go where it's supposed to go? Is everybody going to get paid? Okay, cool. Now I can go to the beach. But every day, you know, you have to.
What are some of the biggest misconceptions about crowdfunding comic books that you can, you know, tell people about out there that are trying to figure out how to do this?
Give me an example.
Well, like, you know, obviously the being able to you know, put anything you want on a crowdfunding site is one of them, you know, that we've kind of talked about. But you know, people feel like, and we've also talked about how, you know, any crowd. Another one is a lot of people think that, you know, if they put up a thing on a crowdfunding site, people are going to find it, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. Like they'll build a comic book, they're gonna put it on Kickstarter, and then they just launch it. Like nobody knows, dude. Like nobody knows that you launched this. Like you got no social media, you got nothing, you got no presence, dude. And that's a big deal. Like I always tell people, like, no one knows you exist until you tell them that you exist. So a big thing with you know, trying to do crowdfunding and things like that is that, man, it's not where you just make a comic and then you make like $30,000 and then you're good and then it magically gets shipped, dude. It's a lot, dude, from beginning and end. We always say our delivery dates are 6 months out every time. We can do 4 months. Usually we do 4 months, but I always say, just in case there's problems, 6 months out. Every single campaign that we do a campaign every other month, and it's 6 months out for delivery date. But it's the misconception is that where people don't really realize that making the comic book is the easiest part of the whole thing. Everything else is really hard, dude. So,
well, even that can be hard.
Here's one.
Go ahead, Sean.
Well, here's one that I'll use this to prompt Dan to talk about this. Here's the biggest misconception I see all the time. Let's say you have a campaign and you make 80,000. Anybody would think like, dude, you crushed it. 80K Kickstarter. That's nuts. How much do you actually don't you don't have to give hard numbers, but how I always tell people all the time, you may see 80,000 at the end of that campaign where it says, congratulations, you made $82,800 or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't get that much money.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, just running the warehouse. Okay. Just running a warehouse where we have people shipping and, you know, electricity bills and
leases
and how much we have to pay in shipping to go out. You were spending $2,000 to $3,000 a week. You know what I mean? So, and then when you go to print, you're spending about $16,000 to $20,000 for printing. You know, and then you got to buy bagging boards, and then you got to, you know, I mean, you got to do all that stuff. At the end of the day, you're probably keeping. I think every campaign I do, I'm only keeping about 12% of the money.
Wow.
So,
wow, that's nuts. That just doesn't. I hear that and I think, is that worth it?
I was going to say, if you can keep 20,
if you can keep 20%, that's dope.
Here's what, if you can keep 20%, that is a huge win.
Yeah,
that's a win. That's
you know when you keep 20%,
the big W.
When you have
because people don't understand, man. Like you may see it. Let's just stick with the 80K number.
He's lagging.
Yeah. One of the things when you keep the day you keep 25%.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're back.
One of the things about keeping it 25% when that happens is it's because you had low backers that spent a lot. When you have low backers that spent a lot, oh my gosh, you save so much money because shipping is ridiculous these days, dude, and it eats into your funds like every week, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
When that's why when Brian and Nick were on there talking about how much their campaign made, I was looking at their average, how much they made their average per pledge, because you can just take how many backers and then obviously divide, you know. And I was like, you're at like, I can't remember what it was, but it was a huge amount per backer, and I was like, that's a big W right there for sure. But by the time you get to the drop pledges, the Kickstarter takes their 10%.
Yeah,
printing, shipping, labor, all the things. You're lucky if you keep, like Dan said, 10-15%. You know, like that's a huge misconception.
Yeah,
you got some milk money. That's it.
Yeah,
and you got just enough to pay for your next campaign. And
because that's another thing is like you're paying for artists too. You're paying for cover artists. You're paying for interior artists. If you need a letterer, you have to pay for the letterer. You know, you have to pay for the colorist. You got to pay. You know what I mean? You got to pay if you're not even gonna do the build yourself. You got to pay someone to build it. Like it's a thing, dude.
And this is what's great, bro, is you made this site yourself, right? So how much you're probably gonna 3 campaigns, let's just say, and that'll already pay for the money you'll save from drop pledges and processing fees and all that shit. That'll already be worth that month you spent investing into it, you know?
Oh yeah. And the thing, building a site, like having a little bit of help at the end, you know what I mean? Like that'll pay for itself pretty quick, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the thing that what I always tell people is to do it all yourself, just because you're going to save money, especially when you're starting out. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get more of a profit if you could figure out how to do everything yourself. It'll mean you're away from the drawing table a little bit longer, but it's worth it.
I think you've done such a good job creating the site. It's already, to me, with how much of a pain in the ass Kickstarter's site is in general, the framework of their site, it's already better than Kickstarter to me. You know what I mean? Like, being able to go to the campaign. Okay, let's go to the campaign. Let's go down. Oh, you can already here. That's how easy it is to see your extra tiers. And yeah. It's like,
then also you can go into, do where campaigns is at the top. Like, you can go into past campaign or campaign archive. Scroll on that, dude. That's every single campaign we've done for like the last 10 years or something.
That is so cool, bro. That is so cool.
Oh, that one disappeared. I got to figure out what's up with that, but
it's there. It's just not
they're all clickable, and they're all clickable too. We put links on every single one. You can click on it, and it'll go to that Kickstarter.
I remember this action figure too. This was so cool when this action figure thing happened, for Birth of the Cruel. Yeah. So, but you can see like how much of a pain in the ass this site is. Like, I'm scrolling, but you know, like, oh, where am I scrolling? Oh, I got to put my cursor over the area. It's just, I want to see the rewards. I want to see the actual campaigns. I want to see. Look, it's just a pain in the ass, and I think that's, to me, is one of the biggest parts of, other than the Kickstarter not allowing whatever they deem as unfit. Like you said, the word tramp is which they take as derogatory. Is it's ridiculous, dude. It's silly, and ultimately, hey, we're adults. This is how I want to spend my money. That's the key to it. Is you're voting with your money. So, but again, the ability to have all Kickstarter as a place just to browse, to me, is one of the biggest keys to it, and it's a bummer that they do that, man.
The biggest thing on Kickstarter is that traffic, dude. That traffic is unbelievable, man. Like, everybody knows now that's the place to go to look for indie books.
Well,
like I back so many books every year, dude. But like, rarely I buy any physical. I buy the digital because I'm interested in the stories, and I read the stories on my computer, on my tablet. But there's stuff like when Jim Ballant comes out with a new tarot, I back it, dude, and I get all these covers because I love his art and stuff like that. But it's just that whole just one-stop shop, dude.
Yep. Yeah. Question from the chat: is shipping included in the pledge or added after?
When you select all your items and then you go to cart, it'll tell you what the shipping's gonna be.
Which makes sense because how can you figure out what the shipping is before you know what the weight of the package is and where the person is? Yeah.
And on average, people always sell their books, like for indie books, like $20 a book. We dropped it down to $18 because we are saving money with not using Kickstarter. And on Kickstarter, those 4 books that we put on Kickstarter, we upped it to $25. So
nice.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Kevin, who's in the chat. He says, "Evening, gents. Sup, Dan? Kevin, the guy that also had a Nissan Juke Gothville."
Yes, Kevin's the man, dude. He's out in
Arizona.
He had that Nissan. When we first met at a Lady Death party in Arizona. And it was so funny because I rolled in. I lived in Vegas at the time, and I drove like 3.5 hours to go to this party. And then he was just talking to me, and he was like, "Hey, would you mind signing some books, after the party?" And I was like, I go, "You have them?" He goes, "No, you would go to my house, bro." Like, so I was like, "Yeah, man, that's cool." So we both go outside and we both have Nissan Jukes, dude. It was so funny, dude.
We're gonna try and get Kevin on the industry show sometime soon. He's got a bunch of things to talk about industry wise, because I feel like every time I go to a con, I see him and we got new topics we're talking about that he would be able to be great for the industry show. So we'll get him on the show soon.
Yeah, Kevin's a good dude.
Yeah, dude. I think that it's very cool to see more creators, saying, "Hey, if they're gonna like limit us and what we can do with our creations, I'm just gonna do it on my own." And you've shown that even though you might not know how to do it, you can figure it out relatively quickly to create a site like this and create your own crowdfunding source, which is super cool. But again, build that fan base, make sure the product is good, and everything else will follow,
Yeah. And this, I was gradually just building it here and there. But when the shit went down with Kickstarter, I had to be all in to get it done. And so I'll tell you, once we were at the point to go all in after about maybe 35 to 40% completed, maybe 30% completed. So the all in took about 2 months, dude, to finish this whole website, dude.
Wow.
So just throw that hustle down and get it done, man.
That's a lot, man. That's good.
Is there anything that S.I.C. needs to do differently to survive? I mean, obviously you're allowed to do whatever you want basically over here because it's your own site. But is there anything else that you've kind of said, okay, we got to do this in order for this to work?
It's kind of like it's gonna evolve like on its own. So it's kind of like how the fans give me feedback.
Yes.
What they hope would be on the site, or what they feel is missing, or just we, since day one, I've always listened to the fans and try to give them what they want, and try to work with them. Like their ideas are just as valid as my ideas. You know what I mean? So
yeah, there's a couple great comments from the fans that say, like, this is from our boy Doug DJK. He says, "I hate the first 24 hours exclusive stuff because I didn't see it until days later." So
yeah,
that's
this one, since we were behind schedule of launching SAD-Girl, because I wanted to build this website, I wanted SAD-Girl to be the first campaign, because SAD-Girl #1 was the birth of Still Ill Comics. The very first campaign that we ever did was on Kickstarter and was SAD-Girl #1, and at the time it was Still Ill Princess. So I was just like, it's only fitting that we start this new adventure with SAD-Girl still. But what we did, since we were behind schedule, there was no, and also since you do order now where you don't pay at the end, we made everything available right then and there. There's no more stretch goals. There's no more waiting for things to come out. So
that's what Iman Tony. I think that's what Iman Tony is asking. Let me know, Iman Tony, if I'm catching this right. He says, question on Kickstarter, why do add-ons? Why not just add them to the other covers on Kickstarter? I think that's kind of what he's talking about, what you just mentioned, but I could be wrong. Let us know, brother, if we're not getting it. So.
Well, those are little like the add-ons he's talking about, like add to your pledge at the end or something.
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
because, and really the answer is really just because why not just add them to the other covers on Kickstarter, because it's a lot more work to do that. Basically, long answer short, it's a lot more work to do that. It's easier to just have it as an add-on. You can add on this, add on that, add on signature, add on grading, add on this book to it, whatever. Backer kit's big at that too. Add a backer kit exclusive cover in there so people buy more stuff. But then, like Dan said, everyone's hand is in the kitty trying to take some of your money. So
one of the big pain in the asses of just the backstage stuff at Kickstarter is when you do your build. When you do your build on Kickstarter, you build the rewards. Let's say you're building 18 rewards, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, when you're done, you got to go into the add-on section and build them all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no thing where you say you build a reward and then it says a little button that says, would you also like to make this an add-on? And you click the freaking check mark and it's done. You have to basically build the campaign twice, dude. It's crazy, dude.
It is.
Is there anything that kicks?
One of the things I did like is when they started itemizing, dude. When you can, like, so your packing slip was dead on, dude. Like every single thing you made, you can make it. You actually itemize it. So when you look at that person's order, like everything showed up perfectly. That was the best.
I was gonna ask if there's anything that Kickstarter does that you really like. There we go. That's one of them. It sounds like
was awesome, dude. I liked it.
Hell yeah.
Backer kit too, man. Backer kit is not user friendly. I'll tell you that right now, dude. Like if it wasn't for Russ, dude, it was a pain in the ass. Nightmare was the one doing it, and she would get sassed by the gatekeepers of because she's a girl or something. I have no idea what the reasoning was, but yeah, it was just like it was such a thing, dude. And all we wanted was to be able to organize our surveys, you know, and it's still to this day, I think it's not user friendly. Like but yeah, now we don't really have to worry about it no more.
Talk about fulfillment a little bit, because that is also another thing that I think people, you know, there's misconceptions on how fulfillment works and how tough it can be. I mean, fulfillment, you know, people can say, oh, look, we had this great campaign and we so much money and yada, yada, yada. And then they get to the fulfillment part and it can be a nightmare, you know?
Yeah. You got to have a workstation, dude. Make yourself a workstation and don't say, hey, this 4-foot folding table is enough. No, man. like we have 2 giant 8-foot stainless steel tables that are workstations. You know, we got multiple tape dispensers. We got a big thing to roll off, you know, our bubble wrap. You know, we got huge crates with the brown packing paper and stuff. Like it's a thing, dude. We got stacks of different size boxes. Yeah, it's that whole thing to get ready for that day, like of buying boxes and all that is one of the coolest things is that we print with Artist Express, who's out in Arizona. And one of the cool things about them is that they pack everything so securely. It's in 2 boxes. Each thing that's in the box is in giant bricks, just packed with paper and bubble wrap. So we unwrap that so nicely, dude. And so we reuse those boxes. We reuse the bubble wrap. And it totally saves money, man. It's so great. Yeah, like I think it took me. I just bought more giant rolls of bubble wrap this winter. I bought it, and I had to for 2 years because of that, which is really cool. But it's just getting ready for a campaign. Like I recommend, if you're gonna do a campaign, to be done with the book or pretty much done with the book. Like Sad Girl 9 is done. I'm just waiting for the last 2 pages to come in on color, and then I'm gonna letter it, and it's done. Because once you get the surveys done, like from when a campaign ends on Kickstarter, that's like 2.5 to 3 weeks before you get paid. Okay, at that point, now you got to build a survey on BackerKit. You can do your survey on Kickstarter now, and it's way more efficient. Like they're getting better at it, but you can't have options. You can't have where people buy more stuff or whatever. It's kind of just basic. But once, from waiting to get paid and then building a survey and then letting the survey run, that's another 30 days. You know what I mean? And then now you got your final stats of money and orders, and then you go to print, and then that's another 20 days or 25 days, depends on the printer. You know what I mean? And then you got all your other stuff that you promised merch. So you got all those manufacturers, and when that stuff's coming in. So that's why I always say it's the 6-month process, dude. It's a thing, dude. Like, just when you start your first one, to not realize how long it takes to turn around all this stuff. But yeah, that's why I always recommend, like, get that campaign pretty much done. So it'll cut back. You'll save some time. Like if you do a campaign and you're still drawing it, dude. Whew, that's deadly, bro. That's deadly, man. You're gonna finish that book in a year still, dude.
But then also another part of it is, and I preach this so much, is if the book isn't done and the money comes in, you will spend that money before you fulfill that campain.
Yeah,
look at God, so many.
What's that fucking guy's name, dude? The guy with the cyber frog guy or whatever.
Oh yeah, EVS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
there's a bunch of them. Mount Olympus Comics. He has two. Yeah,
they haven't. There's people that haven't fulfilled a campaign in years. Yeah, Swamp Bat says I'm still waiting 2 years in for some of the comics I've backed, and I think that's the death knell. And that could be one of the biggest pieces of advice. Like I was going to ask you, what is one of the biggest pieces of advice you could give people that are thinking about crowdfunding? And maybe that is it, to make sure that you actually fulfill the damn thing you're selling.
Yeah. And that's the thing that's going to give you your street cred, dude. It's like Sean says, man, like if you wait too long, you're going to spend that money before it's time. You're going to spend that money. And now when it comes time to do printing and all of those stuff, you spent that printing money. So now you got to come up with some money, dude. So now are you making another campaign to pay for the previous campaign? Because that's what starts getting dangerous when you start doing that, dude. You know, but yeah, I totally recommend that. That's the best thing to do, is try to get that where it's pretty much done by the time you get paid, so that money goes to where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Save your money. That's a big one. You know, I always say the fulfillment isn't hard. It's setting up for the fulfillment. Like Dan said it perfectly. You need space, bro. You need a lot of space, because you got to have all your books laid out in long boxes, probably, you know, but you got the books all set up. They're all organized, foils, metals, whatever. You got you got to pre-build all those little packs of all the goals, the stickers, and the magnets, and all the freebies and shit. Yeah. That takes 2 days alone.
I say dedicate a room, bro. You got to dedicate a room. Like if you're single, that's the shit, dude. Like if you're single and you have a 2-bedroom place, get rid of all your living room shit, dude, and just fucking put shelves, put up shelves, and then your short boxes, and make that's your whole workstation. Move your drawing table in there too. Forget it, dude. Like just live that life, man. But yeah, dedicate a room to fulfillment, and don't make it your garage unless that garage is temperature controlled. You know what I mean? For humidity and all that stuff. The biggest thing out here in the Midwest is humidity, dude. If you don't have the right system to make sure there's no humidity in those books, dude, you're messing up your books.
No, they start curling up and shit. Yep.
Dude, I've done that too, where everything gets bag and boarded, as soon as it gets opened, you know, put it in the bag and boards. Because even with our system that takes away all the humidity, if we left a book out overnight, in the morning it's still going to be slightly curved. You know what I mean? I'm just like, God damn, you know.
Steven, you're on mute, just in case you didn't know it. I didn't know if you knew. There you go.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, man, 100% humidity. Same thing down here in South Texas is the worst.
Yeah, man. That humidity is the enemy, dude. That's why you got Coffin Comics staying in Arizona, bro. It's like they can leave their books out in a shed and they'll still be fine. They'll just get a little warm.
Yeah, you're gonna walk in and it's just nothing but ashes because it was so damn hot.
Yeah,
you know?
I was gonna say they'll just crumble into ash when you pick them up because
Well,
he would sell it as the ash edition and you put it in a bag.
I love seeing this. I love seeing that you had a need, you went out and figured out how to do it yourself, and you knocked it out in relatively short amount of time. It just goes to show that you can pull off anything these days. All you need is a pair of kicks and a telephone and a goal at this point, with the way how technology helps your brand, your business, whatever it is, you can figure it out. And that's kind of what you did with Still Ill Comics Collective, which is a great idea. You guys check out the link. It is in the chat. It's also in the description below. And go back to the first project, which is the Sad Girl Psycho Baby 9. Which is good.
Be a part of history, of Still Ill history.
Yeah, I want to play this video real quick before we let you get out of here. So here we go. Sure. Let's play this video. This is pretty dope. Not that one. This one. Good shit, you guys. Link is in the chat and it's pinned at the top of the live chat. And
Dude,
this is awesome, man. So
that's a good workout music right there too.
Oh,
I know, right?
I always use these like these free like public domain music things, whatever. Like,
you have to.
I go to is Pond 5. I go to Pond 5 and get a lot of stuff, dude.
Oh
Yeah, that was awesome. Good job, man.
Yeah, good shit, man. Hey,
Here,
Dan,
I'll hit you up, Dan. We'll get to.
Yeah, man,
get
hit me
to
up,
watch
man.
A bunch of stuff from you, and we'll promote it and get people on your side, man.
What part of Texas are you at?
South Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas.
Corpus Christi. What's over there, dude?
The heat,
the ocean, the Gulf.
Yeah,
You
we're
guys
right by the.
Oh, you're near the Gulf?
Yes, sir.
How far are you from Houston?
Houston, we're like 3 hours away.
What about Waco?
Waco is about 4 from here.
Okay,
Four
I'm just
and a half.
checking. My sister lives out near, I think, an hour from Waco, but she's
Nice.
near this Gulf. I forget what part she's at, but I need to go visit.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You said you mentioned you're gonna be in New York, so
Yeah.
we'll be out there in October.
Hell yeah,
Well,
dude. See
Emmett,
you there.
you're gonna have to hit him up, man, with all the sales of Zombie Tramp that you've been having lately, right?
Yeah. But like I sell it completely online through the Shopify store.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So I don't. All my books like that I have too many kids running through the store. I don't have a section that I can close off to just adults.
Yeah. But yeah, that's fine. You hit me up, man, for wholesale, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have any Tales of Zombie books?
Ooh.
The old magazines?
Oh yeah.
The Marvel magazines?
I
only
love
need 2
those.
more. I need 2 more. I'm done. Yeah.
Hit me up on Facebook.
I got
Send
my
me a
list.
list.
What
I got
2
my
do you
list right
need,
here. I'll tell
Dan?
you right now.
Because there's a lot of people that might be able to help you with that are listening right now. Which 2 do you need?
I'm gonna look at my list right now. Hold on.
Was that
okay.
Harris or Curtis?
I need issue 7, and I need the super annual.
Ooh.
Let me
So
check
here
on
we-
that. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Tales of the
This is,
Zombie number.
So here's Tales
one
of the
right here.
Zombie
I need this.
7.
Yeah,
That
I need
one?
that
Yeah.
one. And then there's a super annual that I need.
Okay, Tales of the Zombie
Yeah.
7. So this one, you guys, right here, Dan
Seven,
is
the
looking
Legion
for.
of-
And then which one? Super Annual, Tales of the
The
Zombie.
super annual, not super anal.
Super Annual. There we go.
Yeah, that's it, and I'm done.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. I love the design of
Let me
this
check real quick.
character.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me check.
Look at
One
that.
of the things with Tales of Zombie is that I wouldn't buy. I still won't. I won't buy it online. I have to find it.
Oh, that's cool.
Like,
Out in the wild.
That makes it even better, bro.
Yeah, that's my rule. I have to find it.
I love these old school magazines. That one's a really good cover right there for sure.
Doing homage to that was Zombie Tramp.
Oh,
Oh my God,
yeah.
there's so many cool Tales of Zombie covers, man. They're really cool.
Have
There's
you
one where
homage?
he's
I called dibs on that exclusive.
Yeah.
Have you homaged
New York.
any yet?
Have a homage to any Tales of Zombie? No, I haven't.
Ooh, that's a pretty good call out there, Sean.
Fucking dibs.
I mean, it has to be
Dibs.
like iconic, where people like they know exactly what that is, you know. And
Like
Tales
that
of
one.
Zombie doesn't pop as much as far as people are knowing what it is, but yeah.
No luck. But I'll check my boxes. I'm pretty sure I got it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Well,
I'm
there
not
you
in the
guys go.
shop, so
If
If you have
anybody
it,
has
bring it-
any of
bring it
them,
to New York.
hit up Dan. He'll be in New York Comic Con this year, which is super cool. So
Yep.
Dan.
And if you're near the Michigan area, come see me, dude, at Me Anime or Detroit Horror. If you go to my Instagram, which is Art of Dan Mendoza, I have pinned at the top all the shows that I got left to go do. So
My buddy sent me this to show you, Dan. This was years ago. I don't know how long ago this was, but he sent me this picture.
Nice.
Oh, dope, dude.
That's super cool.
Dark hair.
That's my buddy Gore. Gore is on there. He's
Shout
like,
out to Gore.
share this with Dan on there. That's pretty cool.
He's in the chat. Well, hey, man, anything you need, let us know, man. I can't thank you enough for the support over the years of supporting Beyond Wednesdays. We're always here to support Dan Mendoza and anything you need, man. And I think it's a great thing that you've created. And I can't wait to, the future and see what the future holds for Still Ill Comics Collective.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. That's cool.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah,
all right, man.
Awesome.
We'll talk to you soon. Peace.
All right, see ya.
Dan Mendoza, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best.
Yeah.
For sure, dude. If everybody in comics was like him, it'd be such a better place in comics.
Truth.
Zombie Trap's so popular, man. It's awesome.
Just saying, man. He's just a testament to just
I'll be
work
right back,
hard,
guys.
right? Like work hard, keep your mouth shut, meaning don't be out there talking shit about other people and all that stuff, right? Like just stay focused on what you're doing. Keep creating cool stuff. Look at all these IPs he has now outside of Zombie Tramp, right?
Yeah.
Like he's a perfect example of what, in my opinion, a successful comic creator should try to emulate. Would be Dan Mendoza's career, which is still going.
I think it's still young. I think now that he's kind of figuring it out, like, hey, okay, it's coming into play now. It's just the beginning for him, so that's awesome.
Yeah, even Kevin in the chat said Dan's 100% solid, always positive experience. Kevin, I've known Kevin for years, man. Kevin, great dude. Hope to see you again soon, bro. But like Kevin has dealt with hundreds, thousands of creators at this point in his comic book career, right? He's always out there chasing signatures and getting stuff from people and celebrity SIGs and stuff. And for him to, just acknowledge Dan's a good dude and how rare that is in the industry is also saying a lot too,
Yeah, man, and that's what it's all about. It's supposed to be fun, but once you get that knack of like, all right, this is what's gonna put me over the top. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, and now he has his own website himself. I mean, come on, man, that's awesome.
Almost like an animated movie on there, man. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, all of his campaigns got those kick-ass videos like that. Like it's almost a tease. It's like as soon as the animation ends, you're like, I want to see more, right? Especially when they did the crossover, the Lady Death Zombie Champ crossover. Is like, dude,
that was sick.
Yeah,
that's an idea. That's an idea.
Coolest ones.
Animation, man.
Have you guys been, I brought up the Mark Brooks stuff. We talked about it last week on the show. Have you guys been following the whole continuation of the Mark Brooks artist retailer saga?
I have not.
He's going down a rabbit hole.
It's still happening. Oh my God, it made it bleeding cool. Of course it did.
So
I saw the comments. Did you see the comment? How many? It's insane. Like,
he took the post off his Facebook. It was so bad.
He removed it. I was like, why do you keep responding? You just be quiet already.
Yeah. Well, he announced that now he's working with other artists and selling other artists' variants on his store. So he's doing a Jock variant for Absolute Batman, and he's doing an Andy Kubert variant too, which is very interesting. That brings in a whole new discussion where, here's Mark, and I'm not necessarily saying, like he's wrong in what he says, but a lot of people are saying he's sitting on his high horse in the soapbox, talking all this trash about retailers and how they work with artists. Well, guess what, Mark? Now you're a retailer that is going to be working with an artist, and you're going to be under a microscope. And I hope that it works well and that, you can kind of put your money where your mouth is, or, so to say. And there's never any problems that happen over this. But it's very interesting that, he's become a retailer now, so to say, especially an exclusive cover retailer, which is interesting, So,
yeah. I always wonder the behind the scenes stuff. Like, how did these guys get books in Mark Brooks's store? It's like, well, he must have, first off, he has a website with the store built up already. And these guys don't want to do like what Dan did and go make an entire store. Mark has a email newsletter So he has the nuts and bolts in place to be able to offer these guys exclusives, right? So because everybody's probably wondering, like, well, why doesn't Jock just go make his own store? Why doesn't Kubert and these other guys make their own stores? Well, they got to hire somebody, blah, blah, blah. You don't have the email newsletter. How do you reach your people? Yeah, you can make a post on social media. But if Mark already has the machinery in place, that makes sense. He could offer it to other people, right? And then I don't know.
Look,
again,
whenever you do a job that's paid by the hour or by your time, there's only a certain amount of money you can make. So if they don't break out into able to sell, either like Mendoza has broken, like it's fine that he has, he's selling Absolute Batman on his store, but still he's got to get that from DC, and he can't sell t-shirts of that Absolute Batman cover. He can't sell hats of that. He can't sell lunch boxes.
This irritates shit. I mean, I just read this. He feels as strongly as I do that it's you guys that make this happen. So for us, so giving back this way feels giving back what? You're charging a premium price for these books. What are you giving back?
Yeah, let me read this for everybody. So Mark Brooks made a post and he says, my good friend and one of my absolute favorite artists, Jock, and I have decided to do an upcoming Absolute Batman number 22 release through my website. Jock and I have decided to partner for this release because he wants to cater directly to his fans rather than going through a store or a dealer. He feels as strongly as I do that it's you guys that make this happen for us, so giving back this way feels like the right thing to do. I've also talked to Jock about these groups, that's interesting, about these groups, so I am hoping he'll drop in personally to say hello. I believe this is the first time Jock has offered remarked books, so this is a rare opportunity. Now, this can be a problem because he is creating an us versus them atmosphere here. Right?
Yes.
And it's not good.
It started with Mayhew. Mark doubled down on it, and now he's tripling down on it, it seems like. He's absolutely creating.
But now he's dragging other guys in. And
exactly. Yep. You're right, Emmett. Totally right. And without realizing it, maybe he does realize it, but he is creating an us versus them thing, and it might cost Jock and Andy Kubert a part of their fan base. And that sucks.
You brought up a good point. How is Mark Brooks able to get this? How does he have an account without an actual shop? You know what I mean? With Lunar.
Because you can have an online shop now.
Oh, okay. I got you. I thought you had to have an actual retail store.
Not anymore.
No, it's not hard. These guys will either use, anyone doesn't go through anyone's account.
Universal is sticking to you got to have a brick and mortar, but I think Lunar is allowing online dealers.
Well, in the past, a lot of artists couldn't get their own retailer account through Lunar to be able to do these online variants. So they'd have to work with another store, we hear that all the time in the past where, creators would have to work with a store in order to do their own variant.
Well, let me throw back a little bit there, Brian. When they say work with a store, basically any artist can come to me and say, hey, will your Lunar account host this cover for me? And I give them my account number. It ships to me, but that's all I am. I'm just the account that it gets billed to. The main reason they don't do it is because they can't afford the $20,000 to $30,000 investment into their book because it won't sell that much. But we're in this magical time called Absolute Batman.
Yes,
that's why Mayhew's on his high horse saying, "I'm the greatest thing since Jesus," and that's why Mark Brooks is like, "Look at me, I sold out." And everyone's going to be like, oh, we don't need these retailers anymore. But again, when Absolute Batman starts to go the way of whatever else you want to pick, Venomverse, death metal, whatever, when they have their day and then they pass, which will happen eventually,
Yep.
As much as I love Absolute Batman, I hope it lasts for 50 years, but it won't have the hype behind it now, right?
Well,
so when all that fades away and these guys need retailers again, now what?
Yep. This is very interesting. So Breathing Cool writes, of course, in this situation, Mark Brooks Art is a store and Mark Brooks is a dealer. The comic was priced at $50 for the cardstock trade dress, limited to 750 editions online, and $65 for the virgin foil, limited to $650. With additional price points to get copies signed by Jock and Scott Snyder with remark and sketch options by Jock and CGC slabbing. Those who subscribe to Mark Brooks Art, known as Brigade members, for $3 a month or $30 a year, got early access and a discount. Very interesting. That is a lot of money for a variant cover. And is he going to start getting, backlash over this now? It's just very interesting in my mind. And again, I would love to have Mark come on the show and I would love to talk to him about this. Maybe I'll hold on here. What just happened? Maybe I'll reach out to him and ask him, if he would like to come on and talk about this. Who knows? But I would love to deep dive in this because he is kind of he's becoming what he was complaining about. And he is going to get he's going to get some backlash because retailers face a lot of backlash in this world about price points and this and that. And when you're the artist of the book you're selling, you're going to feel a way about it more than just a retailer, right? So your price points is probably going to be higher. I don't know. Maybe I'm off about that, but I feel like, if I draw a book, I'm going to feel like it's worth more, than somebody who didn't draw it, I imagine.
All these cover artists have their hands tightly around the golden goose's neck to see who can get it. And they're just going to choke it until it's fucking dead.
Yeah.
And what's the golden goose? What's the golden goose?
For them right now, it's these covers. Getting $50 for a fucking $6 book. That's fucking disgusting.
Sean, if I'm mistaken, what is the cost per book if you're buying direct from DC? Isn't it 50% of that? Isn't it what, $399?
So the minimums are 1,000. So they destroy copies to get these down to 750 and 650 because you have to get 1,000 of each one.
And they're not being transparent about that.
Yeah, it's 1,000 of each one. So that's the minimum is 1,000. So again, they're destroying copies to get down to 6. You can always safely reduce a print run because there's going to be damages no matter what. Top and bottom books. Yeah. If it's a really hot day and FedEx is in a bouncy truck and your books are rubbing all around, there's lots of damage can happen to these books. So reducing a little bit, not a big deal. It's to me, the price points are a little insane, and especially when he wants to say we're giving back. You guys are the one that makes it happen, so we're going to charge you $50 for a trade dress. Like, okay, so it's a Jock exclusive. It's limited to 750. He's a super hot artist. I mean, your traditional trade dresses are okay.
Max.
Traditionally, they're 20. This is super limited. I would go. I totally agree with you, Brian. $35 for this book.
Yep, max.
It's there's only 750 of this cover available. It's a hot artist Jock. I think the cover's kind of mid, to be honest with you. I don't see anything special about it. But Jock's name is,
it's a wraparound at that. So like, how good is it going to look?
Yeah.
I mean,
and really,
is Batman even going to be on it, or is it just going to be his body and his head?
No, his head and a little bit of his chest.
Yeah.
Will be on it. But at the bottom, comic sketch art, those are the guys hosting the cover for him.
Well, here's the thing then. So then it isn't Mark Brooks, it's comic sketch art.
No. Comic sketch art's hosting it. And they're doing all the fulfillment for it. I promise you this too. It's not Mark Brooks is out there with some high school kid that he hired for the weekend fulfilling these books.
So he's working with a retailer to do this. He's banking on a retailer to have to do this. So here's the other thing.
Problem the whole time.
Here's the other thing. They act like all this came across started because he mentioned that these books are making 5 figures for these retailers. And Kevin puts up a big comment. He says, I go back to the original argument about the number of A-B variants that did 5 to 6 figures. And after doing some spot checking, not full data research, my gut is under a dozen books have gotten that type of money. Thoughts?
Oh, less than that, bro. Less than that. I think you can count on one hand how many people have cleared 6 figures on a book, counting this one, because they probably sold out. Just rough math, that's easily six figures. So Mark Brooks, you're now the thing that you talk shit about. Is
that's
all the money's going to Jock.
That's the whole fucking deal in the world today. Call the other guy a motherfucker and then be the motherfucker.
So here's a great comment. Rich wrote, one retailer who messaged me privately after put it, quote, after retailers who have overhead employees insurance and the risk of 1 to 5 variants not making money. Meanwhile, he's fine making at least 5 times the cost on his For the People. Quote, I'm finding out more and more about some of these retailers and their exclusive Absolute Batman variants. In many cases, this is what Mark put originally. In many cases, the retailer is making mid to high 5 figures, sometimes even 6 figures, while only giving the artist 100 issues or so. And then now he's saying, like you said, Sean, the biggest part of this is he's saying he's doing this to give back because of this. But he's charging $60 a book or $50 a book.
Yep.
That is so hypocritical in a major way. Again, my mind can be changed as I think that is the best thing is that come and change my mind, Mark Brooks. Like I'll reach out to him and I would love to have him on to talk about this, but we'll see if that happens.
It seems to me he's bashing the retailers. Like, hey, don't go buy from the retailers, buy from us on here. But at the same time, I mean, you can't beat the price. I'm sold out of Absolute Batman 22 today. All claims are done. By tomorrow morning, I'm out. I just did a reorder, right?
Yeah, I ordered it. Yeah, I ordered the same. I ordered as many. I thought would last me for 2 weeks, and they're gone one day.
So that's what I feel like. He's like, hey, don't buy from retailers.
It was a shocking book.
You're right, Stephen.
There was a shocking reveal in there. But again, like Official Music Pub said the same thing. Every cover sold out. Jock, Kubert, Brooks. Again, the only reason they're selling out is because they're Absolute Batman covers. Yes. It's the hype behind the book. Yes. That's what it is. It's
not like they're doing an Absolute Batman and let's see what came out today in Marvel.
It's Simbi. I'm looking at him right now.
Yeah, it's
Simbi.
Yeah, so do that
Simbi
one.
cover. Pick the most popular Marvel title and do a variant for that. Do a Spider-Man. Do a Punisher. Do a any X-Men title.
Well, you guys want to see something even crazier? So that was the Jock cover. Here's the Kubert cover. Okay. I mean, we all love the Kubert brothers. We like Andy Kubert. We're great, amazing artists. But this is a mid. This is a mid.
That's a great cover C.
Yeah, it's a mid cover. And again, $50.
No, they're and again, this will dry up. If they did this every issue of Absolute Batman, I give it 2 or 3 and they'll stop selling out. Because the flippers are going to realize they can't get them on eBay.
The open order Quintana, like I have problems with him because of that whole thing, but it is fucking gorgeous.
And it's selling for a shit ton of money on the secondary market too.
Which is
just came out.
We sold out of 200 copies of Quintana.
There were so many of those
at
ordered.
Cover price?
At cover price, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's what I got.
I sold every one at cover price. And you know what they're going to do? I promise the second print will come out and it'll be a foil Quintana.
Probably.
Mark my word. If it's not already in Lunar, it's going to happen. Yeah. It's going to happen.
Well, maybe that's the counter that, obviously he's not going to bash DC, right? So, bash retailers because they're not in control of putting out the books.
These are all regular sales, and a lot of people were selling them for regular sales too.
I sold my 1 in
6,
25, which wasn't a great cover anyway. But I
Again,
sold it for
I
double
just
cover.
think that's maybe I'm the outlier here. I think that's a mid cover.
9/8 signed, already selling for $270. They haven't been signed yet.
The one you have is better, but I liked it a lot.
I mean, the pre-sales can be so sketchy, especially 9/8 pre-sales and 9/9 pre-sales. But look how much. I mean, look how many have sold already. And these are all pre-sales.
They sold for cover price.
Yeah.
You know, some people take advantage of, like as soon as the eBay crowd, right? Like some people prey on other people's ignorance. A Quintana cover just got announced. I'm going to post it up. They won't say that it's a weekly book or anything like that. They just post it. They want to get that $60, $70, $80 sale, not realizing most of those people are going to cancel on them anyway when they realize they paid $70 for a $6 book. Or the guarantee graded guys, right, are going to guarantee pre-sell this book graded 9/8 for ridiculous amount of money. Just predatory in my opinion, but whatever.
Yeah, well, there's more than enough in the market for everybody. No need to just bash retailers. Like, there's no need for all that. So you should be supportive of everybody.
Yeah, look at Eggplant said, Whatnot sellers had them going from $50 to $60 to buyers. I won't let them pay that much for a book. I will tell them if I have a bunch of a book and I put one up and it starts going for like, it's a, say $6 cover price. It starts going for $7, $8. I'm like, guys, stop bidding. Stop bidding. I have 6 more of these. Don't pay. And I'll run the next one starting at $6. Like, stop bidding on this book. I wouldn't let somebody pay $50 to $60 for that book.
So
I'd be like, cancel this order, put in a cancellation request right now. I'm not letting you do this. I got to sleep at night. I have a stack of these things. When I'm done to my last 2, you can pay whatever you want for them.
So a guy who's been buying all these store exclusives decides I'm done. I'm tired of this, or I need the money. And they bring that in to a comic shop, expecting to get even 40% of what they paid. They'll get bulk rate. Maybe there'll be 2 books that still hold their value.
Yeah, it depends what it is.
The Absolute Batman might still, like if it was tomorrow and they bought only Absolute Batman, that'd be all right. But 5 years from now,
if they came in today and it was Absolute Batman first prints, store exclusives, any of them, I would probably give them 50% value of. I'd probably give them $10 a copy for trade dresses. That's a solid offer to me because I know I could sell them for, 20, 25, $30. Virgins, I'd probably give them $15 for them. Foil depending, maybe 15 also, maybe 20. Again, it just depends on.
But that's only because the Absolute Batman. But
it's only because of Absolute.
Let's say they're Absolute Wonder Womans.
Yeah, less.
A lot less.
Depends on the artist, what the
Superman,
cover is.
even less.
Superman, even less. Yeah. Especially the early Supermans. The story,
Green Lantern,
in my opinion,
Green Arrow. Green Arrow is a little hot right now.
Green Arrow, maybe, but I don't even think anybody did Green Lantern exclusives or Flash ones or Manhunter. I wouldn't even want those.
So there were some great comments and replies in this whole thing. Cliff Biggers, longtime retailer from Dr. No's Comics and Games in Atlanta, says several of the stores I have spoken to say that they sell through on their exclusive variants can be as low as 25%, which means that they have to amortize the cost of the unsold copies into the copies they do sell. But as I say, that's a market that I'm viewing from the outside looking in. Brooks replied, that's why I like the percentage model. If a book or store doesn't make money off the book or is only able to recoup costs, then there wouldn't be anything for the artist. That's the gamble everyone takes. Adam Phillips.
No. Sorry, just no already. Just no. Brooks doesn't get it. That's not a gamble everyone takes. That's a gamble the store takes because that invoice is due no matter what. The artist has no gamble in it whatsoever.
Adam Phillips, a former DC Comics marketing executive for over 20 years, gave some insight. The difference is that if you are not making money and the store is losing money as they are out of pocket thousands of dollars, Those aren't the same thing. And let's face it, the scenario where sales are middling or dismal is as far more common than the ones who make 100,000. And once the absolute Batman phenomenon fades, the 100K makers, and I'd be interested to see the math on that, will be even less common and probably non-existent. Brooks countered.
Adam, that's what I said. I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry, but that's exactly what I said, Adam. Thank you, Adam. I love Adam. I know Adam is a great dude. That's exactly what Adam said it perfectly. Thank you.
So this is a long one, but this is interesting. Brooks countered, but you understand that it'd be the same regardless, right? Whether the retailer partners with the artist or not, a flop is a flop, and they will lose money either way. What I'm arguing is that the partnership model, where profits are split 50-50 after the retailer recoups costs, is far better model with a higher success rate. The retailer would be able to harness the artist's social media following and promotion. By the way, most artists don't promote on their social media.
I expect that anyway.
Yeah.
If I work with an artist.
Yeah. Which could reach hundreds of thousands of people. Because let's face it, on average, the creator has a much larger reach than the retailer. Why wouldn't you want to take advantage of that?
I'm sorry, man, but that first off, tell me besides Campbell, the big guys, who's going to reach 100,000 people?
Yeah, not many.
I'm just saying. And I promise you, my email and my social media reach between, if I put all into something, it's going to reach way more than your average artist will. Again, average artist. I'm not talking the big people, right? The average person. And most stores are going to reach way more than your average artist will.
Adam Phillips responded, it's not the same at all. If it is a flop, the retailer has spent $15K using your numbers. That's money out the door. The artist has at least received their page rate and is not out of pocket a dime. There is also a published cover that can be sold. Is it an opportunity cost? Sure, but the artist isn't out of pocket $10K for argument's sake. I have no issue with making a symbiotic relationship or leveraging each party's strengths. But if you want someone else to bear all the financial risks and then reap equal and greater rewards, I'm sure that there is a decent number of asshole retailers. There are in every segment of society, every segment. And I'm not defending their behavior, but the level of entitlement you're displaying is baffling. You don't even want to cover the cost of the variants you receive. You just want them gifted to you. That's thousands more dollars out of your partner's bank account. The scenario you are describing is by far the exception. The vast majority of these books don't sell out. Stores go out of business, dipping their toes in the variant pool, and make sure to ride the absolute Batman wave while you can, because it won't last forever.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy to me.
Everything Adam said is on point 100%. And the fact that Mark can't hear that, he doesn't have the ability to hear what he's saying. He's in a Mark Brooks bubble.
He
right?
just keeps avoiding.
He's avoiding, but he's coming off as incredibly privileged.
Yes.
And I don't like that word because it can be a loaded word, right? But he's coming off as being incredibly privileged in this space of comicdom of, oh, we reach 100,000 people. All artists do this. So what do you mean? Oh, it's better if you do a 50-50 split because then nobody loses anything. What are you talking about? A 25% sell through like Adam's talking about. I'd be tickled pink sometimes if I had 25% sell through on a Marvel or DC cover. Sometimes it can take you up, depending if, again, you're rolling the dice. You don't know if you're going to get a hot cover or not. You don't have no say in the matter. Right. What if Mark Brooks decides to produce a dud, a cover that isn't super? He's had a few of them that they're not super hot sellers, right? So what happens if I get stuck with one of those? Are you going to give me? Are you going to pay for all my unsold copies, Mark Brooks? No, you're not. But he wants all the profit, but none of the risk.
Yeah. And he's an established artist, which is it surprises me. You would think, like, as established he is, being professional, you'd be opposite, right? You'd be trying to find a way, like, how can we connect even more and do even more together? Imagine if it was opposite, right? And the sky's the limit, right? But
those guys,
Mike Mayhew stuff. I had a guy bring in some Mike Mayhew books. I said, nope, I'm not buying it. Not because I couldn't sell it, but because it was a principle of I'm a retailer.
Yeah.
We're all in this together, right? Like each one of y'all in here, y'all need help, I'm gonna support y'all. That's the way it should be. We're all held to a high standard, and being professional is good. Why go on and treat someone else bad when there really are good people out there? So I told God no for that reason.
This is a great comment real here. Some Devil, aka Adam, says, this is Adam, Sveta Shabina's manager and partner on Dreadful 3. Sveta has over 300,000 followers. We reach maybe 200 people, or less than 200. Not 200K, 200.
That's that funnel we're talking about. Where you can, there's that's a whole nother show talking about funnels and Jesus Christ, it's crazy. Kevin made a good comment. He's like, even celebs we work with who promote our signings don't crush it. It helps, but like Sean said, it's sort of expecting when we're partnering with artists and celebrities on a collab. Yeah, because the rising tide raises all ships.
The amount of artists that promote retailer exclusive variants is slim to none.
Yeah, sadly. Well, but again, the retailer has to do their due diligence to reach out to that artist and say, hey man, look, here's the final trade dress, here's the launch plan. We're revealing it this day. We're going to sales start this day.
Sean, a perfect example is, and we talk about this all the time on the show, that Davis Ryder Peach Momoko drop where he did the 2-minute, whatever sells in 2 minutes is the print run. So he has come out and said multiple times the reason that did so well is because it was one of the first times, if any, that Peach had promoted the drop.
Yeah, and he says that openly. He's like, he has all his new fans showed up, first-time buyers. It blew his mind. Yeah, when you have a perfect collab, again, with a big artist, with a name, right? Peach is a name, dude. She's been a name for a while. There's again, we can probably count on maybe both hands how many artists have that kind of power to drive sales. And again, it depends on the image. It seems like no matter what Peach draws is going to sell, I don't think her fans think she has any bad images, but every artist has their duds, right? So, well, unless you're Mark Brooks, I guess you don't have any duds ever. Anyway,
yeah, it's just very interesting, and it will continue in the future. I imagine this conversation. Again, I would love to bring Mark on the show, and let's get a conversation and
if you really wanted to give back. If you really wanted to give back, he didn't have to limit that print run to 1,000 or 750. He could have done a 3,000 print run. He could have released 2,750 of them. He could have sold them all for $15 each, which is tripling your cost, right?
Yeah.
And more people would have had the book. Many more fans would have been happy.
And then he could have saved $250 for signing, and
he still would have made a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
Right? 2,500. Let me math the math. 2,500 times 15, 37,000. Whole project paid for plus some. Whole project paid for just in your trade dress, Mark Brooks. But why did you choose to limit it to only 1,000 and then limit that 1,000 to 750? Because you fucking wanted to charge more money. So you're not trying to take care of anybody except for yourself and your artist friends by charging the fuck out of these covers.
Because it goes back to the shipping and all that costs. So if you limit to 750, the most books you'll have to ship is 750.
Yeah, it
goes back to the Kickstarter model. So they're doing the Kickstarter model without kickstarting.
Yep.
In the exclusive game.
You are correct. Yep. You know who only person I've really seen give back. Only person I've seen do it was Scott Snyder when he did that stream.
He's doing it again. He's giving away another $40,000 worth of stuff.
He's the best, dude. Like you there's such a difference between people that it's obvious that they care about the fans and the art form in whole, and others that it feels like they don't. And you see Scott Snyder, you see Robert Kirkman, you see like these creators out there that love the art form, the community that has been built around the art form, the LCS community, doing things to help foster more growth in those communities. It's so obvious that Scott Snyder cares, right? And then you see these things from, again, I'm not saying Mark Brooks doesn't care, but he immediately comes off as an us versus them attitude. And that's not good. That's not good at all.
No,
it's not. It's backfire really bad.
Yeah,
that's exactly what Mayhew did. Mayhew just said it, us versus them. He basically straight up said, "Fuck retailers," period. And now Mark is almost saying the same thing without realizing he's putting himself in the shoes of a retailer. He's still taking advantage of fans. It's just bad look all around. And I'm sure Kubert is kind of like, "What? You'll sell my book for me? Cool. Thanks, man."
Yeah.
He doesn't know what's happening. He's not involved in all this. He's not worried about.
I met him at the Fan Expo in Dallas. He's very nice.
Super cool. Well, Mark is super cool too, I guess, until he gets on the internet.
I want to talk to you guys something about, something interesting that I've heard lately, and that is, in this retailer world, especially in the retailer variant world, there is, and we've talked about it pretty open in on the show, is there's these, because of the cost of these retailer variants, a lot of retailers will group together in these groups, right? And they'll create groups where each retailer has to buy in at a certain percentage of each retailer's exclusive variant just to even do these books, right? Mm-hmm. Which again, for this whole conversation, shows how detrimental it can be to your business if one of these things fails, that you have to join in these groups. And I hear and more that retailers are leaving these groups because of that. That it's just
they can't even handle the small. Yeah. So again, I know I can't. This is
go
the
ahead.
interrupt
No, I'm
Brian's
glad.
for me,
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm glad. No. That's what I want. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in a group. It's called Alpha Exclusives. It's ran by Spencer for Comic Kingdom Creative. Great dude. We've had this idea to put together a group of like 20 retailers to where there's lowers the risk for everybody, which is good. Plus, if you're taking a really small bundle, you should be able to sell out, which means we can do more exclusives with different artists and different properties, different titles, et cetera, et cetera. It's a win-win for everybody. There are dudes that leave that group, and he's always getting more people to come in, but there's dudes that leave that group because they can't afford the $1,000 for their bundle, which includes ratio variants and everything else. Like if you can't sell whatever the math is on that, let's say there's 20 people on. Sorry, math is hard right now. 5%.
Yeah.
If you can't sell 5% of an exclusive to even make your money back on it, or we even joke like, are you even a retailer at that point, or are you just a hobbyist?
It's tough out there for a retailer these days, right?
All our businesses are different, though. Like,
yeah, you are.
What he was saying, he's lucky to make 12%. If I made 12% net, I'd close my doors. I'd make more sitting at home, my feet fucking up.
Yeah.
If I'm not making 32 to 40% net, I don't want to come to work.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, buying hookups at home.
Yeah. We're constantly evaluating our margins, and you have to.
Walk-in margins are way better than the internet because you're not sharing them with anybody.
Yeah.
eBay's now up to almost 20% unless you're doing live. Live's around 10%. Whatnot is over 10% now, right?
Yeah, when you factor in if you're doing giveaways or not and stuff, plus the 30 cent. If you're selling a cheap book, that 30 cent will be brutal. If you're selling a more expensive book, it isn't that bad. But yeah.
And then there's new ones coming into business all the time.
Cuckoo.
Like 3 Cuckoo, and then 2 others have already contacted me.
Nice.
That like they're building them now just with fucking AI.
What are you talking about? Stores?
On live selling platforms.
Live selling platforms.
Oh yeah.
They're popping up left and right. There's Comment Sold, which is CS.
Yeah, I was been on for a while.
There's some comic sellers now. There's two guys, 2 companies, comic selling companies who are doing their own.
Icona is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Icona is owned by Tuxedo Tiger. I know that dude. Great dude. He busted his ass making that platform. His problem right now is really just marketing, in my opinion. He just needs people to hear about it.
Well, the thing is if you have your own crowd, just like Still Ill.
Yeah.
He has his own crowd. He can put up his own website and everybody else can get fucked.
Yeah. And that's why I stopped doing Kickstarters, is because I didn't need them to take 10% and have unclaimed pledges. I have, again, we talked about this before, but most people go to Kickstarter because they don't have the audience, they don't have the mechanism to receive payments, to get shipping addresses, to buy shipping. They don't have all that mechanism. So they go to Kickstarter for that. I already have all that. I don't need, I have my website, I have my audience, I have my email list. I don't need Kickstarter,
A lot of money coming into our industry that's already came into our industry that's going to continue. And Gary says a great comment. He says, where there's money, there's grifters trying to capitalize on it,
Oh yeah, always.
I want to give a big shout out.
The greatest grifters are the corporations who are coming on hot and heavy into our business.
I want to give a big
Would you consider Mark Brooks a grifter, since he's upcharging those prices on those books?
Yes.
Is he grifting right now?
Yeah.
He's capitalizing on it for sure.
He is capitalizing on it.
I want to give a big shout out to Not So Funny Books. It's kind of funny how things work. We first brought him up to kind of, slap him on the wrist on his contents, not being correct. But he's a really good content creator, and I got a lot of respect for the stuff he's been doing lately. So much so that I'm looking forward to seeing him at San Diego Comic-Con. I haven't seen this yet, but we kind of talked about the Skybound thing, investment into Skybound the other day. So I figure we watch this together and see what we think of this.
Watching me right now, you've probably also seen this ad from Skybound Holdings asking you to invest. And you might also be wondering if it was a good idea to invest in a company that lost $20 million last year. Well, sorry kids, I'm not going to be dispensing any financial advice because that's not what we do around here. But I do think I can help you understand why they doubled their revenue last year, lost a bunch of money, but it all might actually make sense in the long run. I downloaded and digested the investor's deck so you don't have to. So go ahead and channel your Gordon Gekko, grab your Trapper Keeper and your lunchbox and come along for the ride. Just don't be the weird kid that puts milk in their thermos. What the Skybound team is really selling here is private shares of their company with a minimum investment of $1,000. There is a bit of a catch there that makes it different from buying shares through something like, say, Robinhood, and we'll get to that in a minute. Skybound refers to their media strategy as the Wheel of Awesome because business people love their flywheel analogies, and that's a fancy way of saying they incubate their IPs cheaply in comic books, scale them globally via streaming, and then cash in on premium endpoints like video games. Historically, companies like this just take the easy road and license their IP to game studios. But that type of traditional licensing leaves a lot of retail cash on the table. Skybound wants a bigger piece of the pie, which is smart, and they believe they can publish the games themselves via their own in-house studio. But building games in-house is really expensive, which is why they both A, lost money last year, and B, are asking for another round of investment. And in the business world, sometimes you have to take the upfront hit in order to build for the future, and that's exactly what's happening. The release of Invincible Versus on April 30th served as their first attempt. Although it initially pulled in 1 million unique visitors, a lot of those were from the beta test. I think it's fair to say that it did well, but not as well as they would have hoped. None of that makes it a bad idea or a bad investment. But the real test of this strategy will be their second major game release. They've spent tens of millions of dollars building permanent gaming studio infrastructure, rather than just a singular game. And now they have to prove that they can turn that infrastructure into a repeatable cash engine. Oh, and that catch I mentioned earlier? These units are private and illiquid, which means that you can't just click sell whenever you want to. That investment for all intents and purposes, is basically locked up indefinitely, unless the company goes through an IPO or a corporate buyout, which is probably the goal. So no advice from me is going to be forthcoming, but if I was considering investing, I would be looking at the video game sales numbers before I concern myself with how many copies of Terminal Number 1 were sold.
Very interesting take on that. And that's a lot of the questions that we asked as well. You know, like,
really
how do you get out of this? Where's, you know, you can invest in it, but how do I reap my rewards? You know?
Yeah, that
He
was
really
really good
needs
video.
knows how to get through information, like, and make it very digestible.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
did
that's good,
one.
good for
He
him.
gave me a shout out. It was very nice of him. He
That's
on he was talking about selling your collection. And he said exactly what I always say. You'll always make more if you sell it yourself. And so it was pretty
Yeah.
cool. He's
But
a good.
what's your time worth at that point?
Yeah. So the question I want to ask you guys, how many of you guys are willing to invest money into Skybound now? Has
If I was
anybody
a
here
young guy,
done it? Has anybody here done it?
I haven't. No,
Not
I
yet.
haven't.
No.
If I was younger, I would, because it's pre-IPO shares.
Yeah.
You don't know how long the wait. You know, I could be dead before these turn into, you know, real shares if they IPO. He seems to think they'll have a corporate buyout would be what they want to do, because I don't think Kirkman wants to, and I agree with him. He doesn't think Kirkman wants to take it public. He wants to keep ownership of it, but he needs to raise money. Doesn't want to use his own. I get that too, but you'll never know what you're going to get for the shares.
Seems that's what it looks like. Is just want someone to come in, buy it all, and
This is
their
the Legion
money.
M.
Use their
have heard of
money.
Legion M? Yeah.
They want to use your money instead of their money, like you said. And, you know,
Have any of you invested in Legion M?
a lot of people in the chat said they invested in it when we initially talked about this, but they haven't, you know, seen any return on it, of course.
Sonic said I'm buying their comics every week.
Yeah.
It'll be a long time before, because it takes these video game studios quite a while to
Grand Theft Auto, anybody?
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of series that are like you would want to invest in, that just every series does really well. But now there's no more physical media. So now what are they doing? You know, are they going to make physical media for the games that they're doing? Is it only going to be downloadable? I know when Sony announced that, I got a little excited, little minor excitement down below, because I knew all the video games that I've been buying for the last couple of years are probably all going to go up by $5 a piece. You know, over 6,000 video games, and now, you know, people are going to be like, I want to pick up the discs, because all the stuff that I bought that digitally they can just get rid of tomorrow.
It's funny because
supporting a lot of stuff.
I talked to Jesse yesterday about this, and he said that one of his biggest sellers over the last couple months has been physical media, aka cassette tapes. And that is very interesting to me, you know, as soon as they announced this, that we have this over the last 6-7 months to a year or so, we've had this, you know, buying surge in physical media, i.e. DVDs, cassette tapes, VHS, and that a lot of these young cats are getting into, you know, collecting those old school media. Same way when I was a kid, you know, you saw this resurgence in bell-bottom jeans and vinyl and, you know, that type of stuff. It's cyclical. It always seems to happen that way, where the younger generation is getting into the 80s and 90s physical media. And here we are, where I'm talking to Jesse, who runs a comic shop in DeLand, Florida, and one of his biggest sellers is cassette tapes, not comics.
Yeah.
You know,
very interesting.
You were a big skater, right, Brian?
Yeah, I grew up skating. Yeah.
I sent you a a little video. So this is not my nephew that this is my nephew that does body painting.
Instagram, you sent it?
Auto body. Yeah.
You said it on Instagram?
Yes.
Which one?
It's the I sent you two. It would have been the one before the last one.
So this one right here?
Those are all art. No, that was something else.
This one?
Further down.
This one right here.
That one. Yeah.
That's beautiful, dude. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Pinstriping. I love it.
Yeah. He's my wife's nephew, but through marriage. He's such an incredible artist when it comes to body painting. And like somebody must have brought to him was like, hey, I want to do decks. I may, if these came out so good, I might get a couple in the shop. Get him some blanks to do. They look phenomenal.
Yeah, those are cool. Oh yeah,
those are pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, speaking of like, you know, well, actually, here's something interesting. I'll talk about this first. We've been talking about grading lately, and you know, PSA has basically put a stop on the majority of their grading just because TCG has caused them to have so much like a backlog of grading stuff. It's unreal. Well, what's interesting about that is there's other grading companies that might be, you know, having an influx in work. IG, we talked about it on Wednesday, like i.e. Beckett Grading Services is still accepting stuff, and a lot of people are sending to Beckett. But this was very interesting to me to see this from CGC Card Grading. Check this out.
Companies should do this, so why are they the only one that does? Do you know why CGC labeled this mantle a Type 1? Because most collectors don't even know that there are two types. But when you see the differences, you won't be able to unsee them. Type 1 has a missing pixel right here, a solid border right here at the bottom of the Yankee logo, a curve at the end of Mantle's signature, and a solid border at the top of the star box in the nameplate. That's 4 differences on the front, but it's the 2 on the back that even fewer people know about. On Type 1s, the S in DiMaggio's lines up with the H right above it, and the stitches on the baseball point left. Guys, this is one of the finest Type 1s in existence, and you can actually see it in person. It's going to be at Fanatics Fest at the CGC booth.
How crazy is that? Most people, he's right, don't even know that there's 2 different types of 53 mantles. And those types, yeah, 2 different types of the 50. No, this is 52. Yeah, 52 mantles that people don't realize. And this is crazy to me that CGC is the only company to notate it.
Yeah, dude, that's wild.
That's nothing. You should look up bond bread cards. So most SGC, a lot of the graders grade them all as 1947 bond bread, but the bond bread cards were not sharp corners because they were in bread bags, so they were rounded corners. They reprinted them all the way to 57, and later editions had sharp corners, and you'll see them all listed as 1947 sharp corner and rounded corner. And like you can see people selling because Jackie Robinson rookies in that 47 bond. So you'll see Jackie Robinson square cuts selling for $5,000 and $6,000 when they shouldn't.
Yeah,
because I have sharp corner ones, and I know wow. I would love to sell mine for $5,000 or $6,000, but I know it's not the original set. The original set are rounded corners, and when even the grading companies are grading them, not knowing that there's multiple editions and issues.
Well, I think it'd be interesting to see if CGC ends up grading more sports cards now because of the PSA thing, and if they are the actually being that like if they're looking that closely and being that differentiating on things that the other grading companies don't, that's a good thing for CGC. And here's the interesting thing. I've heard a lot of people say that they think that PSA is going to end up buying CGC at some point. That would be very interesting.
They can't buy CGC.
Why?
Because BlackRock and Vanguard own it.
Well, couldn't they sell it?
I mean, they could, but they would never want to. I mean, if they think that they want to get out of card grading and just stick with comic books, they're really selling a nothing service, right? They're selling a piece of plastic that we've all decided to accept as a reality. It is the greatest moneymaker of all time.
It's the third party, third set of eyes on a grade of something that's supposedly objective party or something. Yeah. That's what I understand it was always supposed to be. Was I want you to sell you this book. I think it's a very fine. I think it's a near mint, whatever. Hey, let's get it graded, and it'll forever be encapsulated saying that. You remember way back in the day when they actually took pride in who the graders, you couldn't know who the graders were because it was supposed to be like a secret because they wanted them to violate their integrity, but they trust us. They're really great people. There's been so much turnover now in the grading world.
They don't know who they are.
Clue. Yeah. So, but still, you're still paying for the third party, the big books. If somebody had an AF-15.
Here's how you know it's a scam. You pay 4% on everything over $1,000. Why? They're providing the exact same service. They're not guaranteeing you they're handling it any different. Oh, you're going to handle my $40 card shittier than you're going to handle my $1,000 card. They should all be handled exactly the same. They shouldn't have any idea what the value is. Then you wouldn't have any theft. You wouldn't have any, everybody took care of every card the same way. It's just a huge moneymaker that they're never going to give up. If anything, BlackRock and Vanguard would maybe split. One keep CGC and the other go out and buy PSA.
You like their cases, man. I just got these for my buddy. I got a box of them. They're all 10s.
Yeah.
And we made a deal.
You can get a lot of 10s from CGC in TCGs.
Those are pretty sweet. I like the cases.
I like what Music Pup said. They just gave a book from 1966 a 9.9.
Yeah.
So
was that Fantastic Four 9.9?
Fantastic Four. Yeah. Number 4.
No book that old should be a 9.9. Even a 9.8. That'd be super rare. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, those Pokemon are going to be really good for you, man.
Yeah, I got a whole box of them. I got like 50 of them, and they're all 10.
Woof. God damn.
She got a box of money sitting there.
I sold my nobody's listening, right? I sold my 86-87 Fleer set.
Nice.
Yeah.
Your Tiffany set or your basketball set?
Basketball.
What'd you sell it for?
Oh, I can't say because I took cash.
Oh.
Uncle Sam will come and get you. Oh, I heard you. $6. I heard you.
Yeah. $6. Yeah. $6.
There you go.
Have we seen the CGC 9.9? Kevin, did you put it up? Yeah, here we go. Let me look this up here. Let's take a look at this. This is the 9.9 Fantastic Four. Let's take a look at it. This is crazy.
Just the scans alone. Like,
look at the chipping on it. How is that a 9.9?
But it's also rolled. It's rolled. You see, look at if you look to the right, you can see the
pages, the paper.
But do they
what is that?
I don't think they care about the rolling, do they? Do they care about the rolling?
For a 9.9, you think they should.
They should, yeah.
More.
Let's take a look. Yeah, look how bad that wrap is. That should not be allowed.
Well, it looks like it got cleaned and pressed, but it stayed with the roll.
even if it did get cleaned and pressed, that wrap is way off. That would never. That is wild.
Is that like a chip down
Look
there?
at that! Look at that right there. That corner.
Yeah, that corner. And isn't that white on the black?
Yeah,
that's
right by the staple.
Yeah.
Up, right there.
Yeah,
what
right
is that?
there.
Looks like color rub. Yeah.
What is that? Yeah. How's that a not? Oh, is that what stopped it from being a perfect 10? That's the
nuts,
one flaw
dude.
to make it a.
And that doesn't. I mean, I don't know. It could be the way it was scanned or whatever, but
yeah.
Have they come out and said anything about this yet, chat? Because that should not be getting a 9.9 with that wrap and these issues with the corners.
It's a solid 9.8.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it should get a 9.8 with that wrap. Look at that.
There's chipping and rubbing.
Yeah, that's rubbing. It looks like right there.
I wonder who submitted this. Usually, when it's a big, dealers that submits thousands of books a year, they typically get.
Well, this has got to be a heritage book, getting the heritage bump.
Yeah, exactly. Probably.
I don't know, man. This feels like.
Oh, it is at auction already? Derek said it's at auction already.
Where's it at auction? Look at the chipping. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I'll send all my stuff to that grader.
Look at that right there.
Yeah.
Again, no book from that era could possibly be a 9.9. It's just with time and unless the dream scenario happens where somebody bought it and brought it straight home and board and bagged it and kept it in a temperature controlled room for the last whatever years. The scenario that never happens.
64 years?
Comic Connect has it.
Maybe 62 years.
Drop the link for the Comic Connect if anybody. Here we go. There it is. Let me take a look.
Look at that bottom left corner. It's dinged.
Shameful.
It's on preview.
It's on preview. Yeah. And September 13th.
Oh, that's
Why is that not the number one book on the list? I can't even see the book. Where's the book?
I click on it right there on the top left. I click on it, nothing happens.
Probably because the auction hasn't opened.
Oh, I get you.
You just
enter the auction. Here we go. That should be the number one book if I enter the auction.
Yeah.
They want you to go through all the books. Let's look up here. Let's go up here. Is there a search?
That's a good question.
Here, I'm gonna start by grade highest first. There it is. Go on the left. Oh, you found it too. Okay.
0 bid.
7 days.
What was the good question?
Who owns Comic Connect? Maybe that's.
Is Comic Connect owned by Vince? One of these major auction sites is owned by the guys at Metropolis, right?
Well, that explains it.
Comic Connect is owned and was founded by Stephen Fisher and Vincent Zurzullo.
There you go. That's who it is. So we have had this in the past come up multiple times during Comic Drama Alert and all the way back to the Flipside days, where there's been a lot of rumors about these books that end up going to the guys who own Metropolis, Vince and Steven, that get these love bumps. I think there was an Action Comics #1 that got a major love bump with some damage on it. Yeah, if there is somebody out there like CoffeeZilla that wants to get a really juicy project, look, if I was CoffeeZilla, I'd be looking into Vince and Steve, Vincent Zurzillo and Steve Fisher of Metropolis and Comic Connect. There's a story for you, CoffeeZilla, if you ever get a chance, and if anybody wants to send this to CoffeeZilla to look into, because there is a lot of fuckery that we've heard behind the scenes. Do we know it's true? No. But where there's smoke, there's fire. So,
so much going on.
Yeah. Kevin says, thanks for finally talking about this, guys. I can now sleep at night. This has been annoying me since I saw it. Yeah, right. It's fucking crazy, man. Kevin says it's only a matter of time before CoffeeZilla goes all bricks and minifigs on the comic industry. I wouldn't be surprised.
Could use it.
I saw Star
Wars comics.
I saw Diorio going in on EVS the other day. I was like, holy shit, Nick Diorio going on EVS. What's going on here? All right. That being said, I want
to bring up one thing.
Well, no, I'm getting there.
Okay. Right.
We are 2 hours, 50 minutes into the show, and we're getting close to the end. I want to ask these guys if they have anything coming up. Go ahead there, Emmett.
I don't have anything coming up. I want to talk about Supergirl. I went and saw it on Sunday.
Oh, yes. I have that in the thing to talk about. Yes.
It is fucking fantastic.
You liked it?
It is absolutely fantastic. You're watching the wrong movie. You're watching a superhero movie. It is not a superhero movie.
Ooh.
And the hero's journey is only the beginning. She has major trauma.
Be right back.
She's not like Batman who just lost his parents. She saw her whole planet disappear, and then she saw her family die slowly.
Yeah.
And she is so broken that one trip into helping people out, and then you got the whole mom saying, you don't have to be nice, but you have to be good thing that kind of fed into it. I think she was fantastic actress. I think she did a really good job. I have very few notes on it. I mean, yes, it was a weak opponent, so they had to keep depowering her, but they've done that in the comics forever. They've taken the powers away from Superman before and changed his powers and used kryptonite in all different ways. The writing and her acting as somebody with trauma, I connected with her completely. I think there's a lot of people and a lot of kids that if they went and saw the movie because if they weren't bombarded with its shit, would have really enjoyed it. I think one of the greatest moments was when she shoots straight up into space and screams, because we've all heard the nobody can hear you when you scream in space.
In space, no one hears you scream.
Yeah. So I thought that was a great moment. I thought that she didn't wear her suit for most of it was good. A lot of people didn't like the lighting. That was setting a mood. That's a director's choice. That's not an actress's choice. Yeah, I think the fight scenes also were tough to do when there's super speed. I don't know. It underperformed because I think it didn't get it. It was pitched as something it wasn't. Not really a superhero movie.
Yeah, I'll probably be watching it this weekend, but I heard mixed reviews. But
I could not disagree with Emmett more. I already told you how I felt about the movie.
Yeah.
I did not like it. I'm very forgiving. Like I said, I'm the guy that liked, the what do you call it? The weird Marvel movie with the Celestial in it. Eternals.
Yeah, the
I
Eternals.
liked Eternals, so I have a low bar for superhero movies. Yeah. I did not like Supergirl at all.
Yeah.
I am very surprised.
I got
very surprised
many times during the movie.
You did? I'm glad you liked it, bro. Really, like I'm very happy you I'm confused, but I'm very glad that you got enjoyment out of that movie. 100%.
Have you seen it, Brian?
I have seen it, and it was horrible in my opinion. Absolutely terrible. I thought that Lobo was great. I thought that the writing of the movie, the hero's journey that Emmett is referring to, felt like it flopped. There was no backstory for me to care about Supergirl and her trauma to be at all.
There was plenty of flashbacks. They didn't start there. They flashed back to it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of flashbacks.
Again, that doesn't make me care about it. Like you gotta lay down the framework of that trauma, and the flashbacks wasn't enough for me to care. And I think that the fact that
she loses everyone she ever knew. How can you not empathize with that? She loses everybody. He was aware. Superman got to come to the Earth not even remembering, too young to even remember his parents.
I think that the vast majority of the movie was trying to tell a story that I just couldn't connect with, if that makes sense. I was very disappointed in it. I felt like they depowered her too many times for me to care about her power at all. The end, the big bad wasn't enough for me to like think that he had like he wasn't
was
bad
ever in
enough.
danger.
Yeah, she was never in danger. Exactly. They and when I do more and more research on the movie, it makes me realize that it makes more sense to me that they totally recut the movie like they did with the Snyder cut of Justice League, where James Gunn didn't agree with the final cut, so he went in and recut it. Which I guess in the original they made the big bad even scarier, which he should have been scarier. Yeah, man, the biggest thing to me, and I don't want this to sound bad, but because I like Millie Elcock, is that her name, Millie Elcock? Ellie Milcock. She is not a good Supergirl. She is not good at all. I felt like she was a terrible Supergirl. Yeah, man, it was bad. It was really bad. But that being said, everything is subjective. I get it, but the problem is the amount of money that it's not making. Like it's crazy the amount of money that it's not making.
That's a whole nother fuckery, is the accounting on these things of how much it makes, because they have to pay points to people. So most movies, no matter how much they make, they don't make anything.
Well, I think that when you look at like after first week, that's how you should look at movies. Like the first week, you're going to get a lot of people. It's hard to look at the first week of a movie and say that it's good or bad, because everybody's going to want to go see it that first week. But it dropped around 60% in its second week, with some reports projecting even steeper day-to-day declines. That's crazy.
I think Sunday was its last day, would be my guess. I don't think it's still in theaters. Maybe some of the smaller theaters trying to recoup their money that they had to pay to get it in. But on Sunday at a 2:00 showing, the theater was half full. So not great. And it's not a big theater, small theater. So it probably only sat like 100 people. So 50 people at 2:00 on a Sunday.
And I will also say that
day.
I will also say that like it felt like that the director and writer, or whoever, if they were both, they didn't rely enough on the comic itself. Like if they would have stuck more closer to the comic, it would have been better, because the comic had more.
We always say that though.
What?
We almost always say that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The comic, the World of Tomorrow comic had more. It felt like it had more. Like there was more things to lose for her, and it felt darker. And this one just didn't feel. It felt. Anyways, I think that really, the good thing is that it was a side character in the DC universe that got a major movie. That's a good thing. I think that the movie world is still under superhero fatigue because of the bad box office. Like the vast majority of superhero movies and entertainment has been bad over the last 10 years, 5 years. So there's a huge superhero fatigue, and that like there was like, I don't know, man. It felt like a waste. Like they had a perfect opportunity with how good that first Superman movie was to continue that, and the way they changed so much of it. I would love to see the first cut. I hope the first cut comes out, and that would be interesting. But there's such a the DC branding in the movie world is the thought process is like, oh, it's a DC movie. Like, I don't care. I'd rather see a Marvel thing because how bad DC's been in the past. And it's hard to break away from that. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I don't know, man. I
think they sold it incorrectly and it had expectations. People had different expectations.
Yeah, for sure.
See, seeing it the last week, the last day, everybody had told me how shit it was. My expectations were so low.
Yeah.
That I enjoyed it incredibly.
I can understand that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what's next coming up for DC? Can you bring that up?
Well,
Brian?
they're
Like,
doing a Mr. Terrific, which is good. I'm looking forward to that because I thought Mr. Terrific was one of the best characters in the Superman movie, and I heard they're doing a new comic book to go along with it. So I'm cool with that.
The lanterns, are the next thing. In
the
September.
lanterns
number 1 just dropped this week.
Yeah,
what's that?
Clayface number 1.
Clayface, yeah. Clayface is coming. The TV show. Lanterns, I've heard from a lot of people that have seen it, is very fucking good. So I'm really crossing my fingers for that, because that to me, as a Green Lantern fan, especially a Hal Jordan fan, is going to be the thing I'm looking forward to the most. And I love True Detective, the first series. And they kind of said that this is a Green Lanterns meets True Detective type story. And if that's the case, I'm all for it. So I hope Lanterns is good. I hope that they do a Mr. Terrific project. I think that character is such a great character, and he was a great character in Superman. I think the actor they have portraying him is perfect. When's Batman supposed to come? Like, when's the next Matt Reeves Batman? I want to see that.
I heard he was working on it. I don't know. I haven't checked. I'm not up on all the movie stuff that much.
When are we going to get a gun Batman?
I don't want a gun Batman. I want a Matt Reeves Batman. You know,
we're going to have a Matt Reeves Batman, but you're going to get a gun Batman too.
Isn't
They're
it
two separate worlds?
Brave and the Bold? No.
Well, maybe Brave and the Bold.
It's supposed to be the same writer who did Supergirl. So,
oof. I wonder if that'll change, because money speaks in the world of movies, and if that movie didn't make any money, they'll make some changes. So we'll see. Who knows? I don't know, man. I'm so disappointed with Star Wars and superheroes movies as of late that there's very few superhero entertainment that's been done well for me. But
I'm just glad we have the TV stuff. Invincible, House of the Dragons is on now, which is freaking awesome.
X-Men 97?
X-Men 97 is fucking awesome, dude. Cable is so badass in that, bro. Holy shit.
I've heard.
And Cable,
I can't wait to watch them.
By the way, I'm glad you brought that up, Stephen, because that is one of the coolest things that I have seen in a long time has been the animation stuff, like you said, the Invincible, the X-Men 97. Cable is such a badass character, and they finally made him, like, I'm watching X-Men 97, I'm like clapping, at the screen. And I haven't done that since Game of Thrones season 6, So X-Men 97 is excellent. Excellent. They do a really good job.
I'm looking forward to it.
Also, the Batman series with John Paul Valley as Batman, and the Bane stuff. Nightfall. They're going to be doing the Nightfall series, so I'll be cool with that. Who knows?
That's why the breaking of his back is popping again.
497.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. What do we got coming up this week for you guys? Sean, why don't you start? You got anything interesting coming up this week for Comics Elite?
Shikari launching this weekend. Yeah, well, that's over now. That should be anyway. We have Sora Sung's cover. There's some turtles. Yeah, all the regular usual stuff that's cracking and popping on the website.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there's a new Shikari launching this weekend. My brain just blanked out on me real quick. And then we have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles covers we're announcing.
Is that the Garrett
That's our
Gunn
store
ones?
exclusive.
Is
Yes,
this
the
it
Garrett
right
Gunn
here?
ones. No, that's
No?
that's Bjorn.
Oh,
That's
Bjorn
one
Barons?
of the Alpha Group put that one together.
Okay.
And then same with that Batman that was on there is there too. But yeah, we're having a lot of turtle stuff. She should have took that down, that birthday sale.
Garrett Gunn will be hanging out with us tomorrow night on the show, so that'll be cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I was literally just I'm chatting with them on Instagram right now while we're on the show, catching them on some work.
That's badass.
So make sure
world.
you guys go check out comicselite.com. Use the promo code Beyond10 to get 10% off, plus all the other cool things that he has that you can get extra percentage off if you meet those things. So that's pretty dope. All right, Emmett, what about you? You got anything coming up this week for Haven for Heroes?
This week we don't have anything going on. Picking up 27 longs tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah, killer price. Buddy of mine, he's like, oh, I bought this collection. I pulled a couple of things out that I wanted, and it's just taking up too much space. So I'm gonna go pick it up from him at the price I'm getting it for. Even bulk, it's a good price. So gonna go get that, and then yeah, nothing else. I do have something in the works. I'll probably bring up next week once it gets confirmed. And then yeah, that's it. You know, we're going to be selling our regular things. Maybe I'll do another live show.
I was going to ask you when the next eBay Live is.
I'm not sure. I got to set it up, and I got to pull the right stuff, and I'm probably overthinking it. Kevin that's came up and visited me, Music Pub.
Mm-hmm.
Came and visited me, and he gave me some good pointers about the shipping was probably a little too high. To kind of gave people made them gun shy, even at dollar books. So I'm gonna look at a few shows and fix that, and then put a show on. I don't know when. I feel like I'm rambling now, like an old man. Oh wait, I am, so I can.
No, man, I think that people would love to, participate in the next eBay Live sale. So
yeah, I want to get a couple of good ones under my belt so I can have Mel come up. I want to pay Mel to come up and do a show with me, and because he was so nice to let me get his collection.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Oh yeah. What about you, Steven? Most Wanted Comics. You got anything coming up over the next week?
Well, this past Saturday, I announced that we moved into our larger location. Remember?
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that. Yeah,
it was a huge turnout. We did free food and all that for everyone, giveaways. It has been nonstop. My phone is.
Let's talk about that for a little bit. Are you already in your newer location?
No, sir. We will be a little under 2 months.
Make sure you take a bunch of video of that. I would love to talk about that as a great show content, topic. Man. Yeah. That'd be a great show topic to talk about what it's like moving from one store to a newer thing.
Yeah, it's so many customers are reaching out. They want to be involved with the move and help us and make it an easy transition. So it's been awesome. Today was crazy busy. I didn't get nothing done today.
Yeah,
I tried. So I got this new Daredevil. It just released the Born Again Daredevil.
Hot Toys? Is that what it is? What is it?
Came in Hot Toys. Just
Yeah.
released. It took me 3 hours just to put it out. And we had some other blockies that we carry now. And I got this pretty sweet, just released too. Pretty sure y'all seen it.
Oh, that's sick. The Mephisto. Yeah, that's badass.
I've already sold a few of these. Just little stuff like that. It's gonna be real toy heavy this week. But man, I didn't get shit done. Everybody was walking in the day just congratulating us that they couldn't make it Saturday or Sunday.
What about did any of you guys have any 4th of July sales? And if so, how did they go?
Yeah,
I was only open 4 hours. We shut it down. Yeah, We were only open for 4 hours and there was no sale. We're doing a summer ween on July 31st, which we have Halloween on July 31st.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
What about you?
Then,
oh, go ahead. Emmett.
no, that's
Okay. Go ahead, Sean.
We just did like a weekend sale, but then Monday we did a surprise 1 day 53% off for my 53rd birthday.
That's
my staff
cool.
said, I was like,
oh, happy birthday!
You do this? I was like, yeah, go for it. And that sale went crazy.
That's a great
I thought,
discount.
yeah. I mean, I thought we were gonna. I was like, Of course, I had to pick a couple things like don't put on sale because of retailer agreements and some other stuff. But I was like, go for it. So I think there's over 10,000 comics.
Wow.
And, let's just say we have a lot of orders to fulfill.
Wow, bro.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
What about you, Steven? How'd your 4th of July sale go?
Awesome, man. From start to finish, the parking lot was full all day. Sunday was sneaky good. We closed Mondays. Today was awesome, but Saturday was freaking awesome, man. We sold a lot of big books. We had a surprise for everyone. Basically, in the center of our shop, we have all our back issues, and I just did everything there for $1.
Wow.
So people walking out with short boxes.
That's amazing. Awesome,
while I'm cooking outside, people walking out. Thank you, Steve. And Sunday I continued Sunday, so we had people that didn't make it Saturday. I got so much stuff. It's like doing $1 sale like that. It just brings out everyone. It's so awesome.
That's amazing. Hell yeah. That's what we love to hear. You guys support your local LCS, support your retailer that you buy from. If you buy online, keep these guys in business. Continue to create good community. If you're a retailer out there, there's nothing better than that. And let us know what you guys are doing. If you're a retailer, hit us up, drop comments in the comment section below of how your 4th of July sale went. And if you did anything spectacular, we'd love to hear about it. Next week, we'll see who we got coming on. I'm going to reach out to Heidi McDonald to see if she'll join us to talk about what's going on this month and her opinion. But we're getting very close to San Diego Comic-Con, you guys. Less than, I think, 2 weeks away. It's about two or 3 weeks away. So that'll be a lot of fun. And make sure you guys, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoyed tonight's show. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we'll have Garrett Gunn joining us to talk about a lot of fun stuff, as well as Adam from Comic Sports Inc. and The Dreadful 3. So that'll be great. And a lot of fun stuff going on. We love you guys. We'll see you guys soon. Make sure you guys check out all the links in the description for these guys next to me because they make this show happen. Love you guys. We'll see you soon. Adios.